or how to actually fix it. But I don't want to shortchange our members. I want to make sure I'm getting to their thoughts and comments and theories and dreams and ambitions and having the conversations that need to be had. So hopefully people understand. We start many hours before anyway, so I'll make sure you guys are not shortchanged. So yes, lovely to see you, and we have got obviously a very interesting NXT. So NXT tonight is going to feature Trick Williams versus Oba Femi, and I was just asked as to what do we think is going to happen, and for me, I actually think there's going to be a lot of outside interference. I think tonight is the night we could see that invasion. I have heard a few rumors that there are some TNA talent expected to feature tonight. I don't know the amount of TNA talent, but there's a few names that I've seen. So whether they're going to pop up throughout the show or whether they're going to get involved during the main event, don't know. But I think that an invasion has been teased, and I think it would be very disappointing if they didn't follow through with that, right? So I think the main event tonight is probably going to end in shenanigans. It's probably going to end in no result. I would imagine Oba is going to leave with his belts, and I would imagine that Trick is going to leave with his belts. What I'll do, though, is put a poll up. So what happens in Trick versus Oba match? So is it going to be, and we'll see what you lot think, Trick wins both belts, Oba wins both belts, or is it going to be both leave with their belts? I'll put both leave with no belts, but that doesn't really feel like an option, but I suppose it is. I mean, I can't imagine both being stripped of their titles, so I don't think it would be that. So do you think that Trick leaves with both belts? Do you think Oba leaves with both belts? Do you think both just leave with the belts they came with? Or do you think that, like, I don't know, there's so much carnage, everyone gets stripped of their belts and we've got vacated belts? I don't think we would do that. Of all the options, I don't think it would be that, but I've put it there just in case. So vote for whatever you think is going to happen. I think for me, I'm expecting them both to leave with the belts that they came with. That's probably what I'm expecting. The other things we've got is Lexis King against Myles Bourne. So we've got that match. That feud has not massively grabbed me, honestly. I think it's been a bit wacky with like the blindfold match and everything. And I don't know, you might even argue it's been a bit of bad taste, what with Lexis King making out that Myles Bourne isn't really deaf and saying, oh, maybe he is deaf, but oh, he can be blind as well. And I don't know. It just seems a bit weird. It's not a feud that I've massively enjoyed at all. So, you know, if this is the end of it, then fine, brilliant. So, final match, hopefully, there. And then we've also got... there was another match that was announced as well that I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. Candice LeRae against Laney Reed in the Speed Tournament. We got that as well. There is no preview, otherwise I would show you the preview, but NXT preview is not up yet on the website, so I'm just having to go from a couple of graphics that I've seen. There might be some more matches that have been announced that I've not seen, but those were the three that were doing the rounds. So, yeah, and obviously the big news today, we were just talking about it on the member stream, is John Cena and AJ Styles has been made for Crown Jewel, which is obviously very, very good. Very, very good. Daze, I've got a question. Will we see Zozea from Rev Pro? Well, I don't know that she's been signed. Is she by WWE? Has she been signed? She is a Spanish wrestler. but I'm not aware that she has been signed by WWE or they've been signed. It's a top Spanish prospect that has been with Rev Pro, but Lucha Styles. What's this? NXT would be a great place for him to start. Some think he'll be on his way to NXT. Oh, right. I don't know who it is. I've never heard of them. But I'm not aware. I mean, my understanding is, did they go to a trial? Yeah, they went to a tryout. After undergoing a WWE tryout, it's reported that WWE has significant interest in Spanish wrestler Zozea. So that was the 23rd of August, but I don't know that there's been any word that they've actually signed Zozea. So no idea at all. No, I certainly wouldn't be expecting them tonight. Hannah said, Daze, I'm glad that we're getting Cena AJ. The promos about passion for wrestling that they did were so good. I hope we get some before their final duel. It will be early, so toast and eggs will be made. I don't think we will. I don't think Cena is expected to be on the show before Crown Jewel, which is why I think they've made the match the way they've made the match. It's kind of played out on social media today, and I think that's because there was not a segment lined up for them to actually do anything in between. So, yeah, unfortunately, I think that's it. It's going to be AJ, it's going to be Cena, but it'll just be the match at Crown Jewel. But it's a match that I'm very much looking forward to. Johnny said, I was interested in a Myles singles run, but it's kind of going nowhere after the Oba match. Yeah, I think it is a bit flat, honestly. It's not what I was personally looking for. But we can fix it. It's fine. Jared said, if what Oba was to lose to Trick, could he go to the main roster? He could do. I haven't got a reason as to why he couldn't. I know that there is a graphic, though, and there is obviously a bit of a build for a match with Ricky, isn't there? We did a sit-down interview, Oba and Ricky. I suppose if Triple H wants him, if Triple H has said, right, I want Oba, then, perhaps those plans just have to change. So perhaps we would go in a certain direction. If Triple H says, I want Oba, then, well, okay, we've got to pivot, right? We've got to find a way of actually getting Oba out of the creative plans. So, I don't know. Is it more likely that Triple H has said, I want Oba now? Or is it more likely that we're doing this match because we're trying to just capitalize and follow up on last week's Homecoming show? Because people will have tuned in last week because of it being Homecoming, Full Sail, main roster stars, big hype. People will have tuned in. What we're trying to do is, I think, capitalize on that. We're trying to kind of keep that ball rolling. Like, there's not really much point in booking a mid-show after Homecoming, because you want those people to tune in again this week. So, I don't know. What's more likely? Is it more likely that Oba's in this match because he's going to the main roster? Or is it more likely we're just trying to keep the momentum going? I think it's more likely we're trying to keep the momentum going, which makes me think that we're probably going to do Oba Ricky Saints. That is probably the match that's going to happen this weekend, and for the championship. But to be honest with you, he could lose that match. Even if he doesn't lose here to Trick, he could absolutely lose to Ricky Saints, and he could then find himself going to the main roster. So I don't think what we're doing tonight is to get the belt off him because he's going to the main roster. I don't really see why he needs to miss out on No Mercy, right? So I don't think it's that. But it could be that he finds himself on the main roster soon. I think tonight is about keeping the momentum going. I think tonight is about keeping that ball rolling. And I expect Oba Ricky to be No Mercy. I think if Trick wins, it'll be a big surprise. To be honest with you, if Oba wins and gets both belts, it'll be a surprise. I'm pretty firmly in the camp they're both going to leave with the belts they walk in with. I'm pretty firmly in the camp there's going to be shenanigans. There's going to be outside interference. I think they've already laid the groundwork for that. I think they've planted the seeds for that. And so I think there's going to be outside interference. I think the show's going to end in chaos. I think that's how we go off the air. And I think basically no contest. What does this mean? Oh my God, decision is made. Both guys just keep their championships, but clearly we need to get this situation sorted. And, you know, on we go. And maybe we build to a Survivor Series where it's going to be some sort of like War Games type event where it's going to be TNA against NXT. And perhaps that's where it ultimately leads. But I'd imagine we'll probably use that as a way of just getting out of this match, which I think we've only booked so that people tune in. Which, you know, I'm not down on. Jared said, I meant out of the two, it would be Trick. You meant out of the two. I don't know what you mean. I think both are ready for the main roster. I think if we're talking about who should go, I honestly, I don't care. I think they're both ready. I think Oba's got a good size, presence, clear on the microphone, had great matches. You know, you don't dread an Oba match. It's not like, oh, the bell rings and he's slow and he's plodding and he's limited. Like, he's quick, he's explosive, he's engaging. His matches, I don't find myself getting bored with them. Like, I enjoy watching Oba compete. He's big, athletic, you know, he's got all of those attributes. And powerful as well. They do a good job of getting across how powerful he is. And you do feel when he's in there with someone that other person is at a disadvantage. That other person is the underdog, right? So for me, you can put Oba on the main roster. I don't see the problem. I do think a lot of wrestling fans have this obsession or this mindset that you have to leave NXT completely ready and perfect. It's as if like Roman has to leave NXT as the tribal chief. And it's like, that is just not how wrestling works, right? That is not how wrestling works at all, right? Normally, like what NXT is about is making sure that you are ready for whatever the main roster throws at you. It's not so much about this is your final form. I mean, look at Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan left NXT. She was in Riot Squads. It took her flipping years to figure out who she was and how best to present her. And then it clicked last year when obviously she came back. They turned her heel. She went on her revenge tour and now she's, you know, one of their biggest stars. With Roman, Shield was brilliant, but then we couldn't quite work out after the Shield as a solo guy how to present him. The fans didn't want him. And to be honest, if the fans don't want you, then turn them heel, right? Lean into that. And when they did, it clicked and it was brilliant. And now the fans flipping love him and they can't get enough of him, right? Face, heel, they don't give a flip. Roman is undeniably the biggest star in the industry. So when you look at someone like Oba, it's not about him being his final form. It's not about Trick being his final form. It's about when you get to the main roster, when you get to Raw, when you get to SmackDown, and you put in a match. Are you going to be okay? Can you get through that match? If you get given a script and you got to do a promo live in the ring, are you going to be okay? Can you do that? That's what NXT is about, getting people ready for those situations and giving them some sort of character so that they've got a fighting chance of not completely getting buried when they get to the main roster. I think Oba has got a presentation and a character. He's got his walk as well, right? He's got his music. I think everyone would say all of that fits and it works. In-ring is fine. Promos are fine. He is ready for the main roster. And when it comes to Trick Williams, brilliant entrance, great aura. He can talk. He's really charismatic. Match quality, good. Maybe not amazing. Maybe, you know, we're not talking about the next Daniel Bryan. But again, put him in a match. Is he going to be okay? Yes. Give him a microphone. Is he going to be able to cut a promo? Yes. Do we need to worry about his entrance? No. Has he got a catchphrase? Yes. Like, does he look amazing? He looks like $1 million. Tick, 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 right? It's not about keeping people in NXT until they're starting to do 5-star matches on a regular basis. That's not what NXT is doing. It's about getting them ready. The comparison that I always use is driving. My driving instructor said to me, like, don't build up your drive-in test as if it's the biggest thing in the world. They are not trying to check that you are the greatest driver. It's not about you being perfect. You don't even have to be perfect on your drive-in test. Like, you can have minor mistakes, and that's fine. You're allowed like 12 minor mistakes, right? And he said to me, like, don't build it up to be this massive thing. You know, we go driving around, you don't make any major mistakes. You might make the odd minor thing here or there, but that's okay. They don't need you to be perfect. It's about, are you safe to be on the road on your own with other drivers? Like, can we say that you are safe and that you can continue improving and learning, but just without needing an instructor? And that is what a driving test is. And that's what my instructor said to me. And it did kind of settle my nerves a bit, right? And as a result, like, you know, you kind of go into it with a bit more confidence. That's NXT. Can you do a match? Can you do a promo? Have you got a character, right? Are you just going to get completely lost on the main roster, or do you stand a fighting chance? Both Oba and Trick definitely do stand a chance on the main roster. They've got everything they need. They might not be God's gifts to wrestling in every aspect, but they are more than enough ready. No, either. Doesn't matter. Both. Neither. Do what you want. They are both ready to go up. Connor said, Daze, apparently John Cena versus Dominic has been discussed for Cena's final 4 after Crown Jewel. Who has said that? I'm not saying it's not been said, but it really, really, really matters who is saying it, right? Because there is so much nonsense on social media. The amount of fake news and rubbish is staggering. It is honestly staggering. And certainly it seems like Facebook is like the flipping Wild West. It is absolutely crazy over on Facebook. Absolutely crazy. Like, the amount of nonsense. People are, I mean, look, I'm just going to tell you, there are people out there, and this is not news, that are making things up that are fake, that are being told that they've been told stuff that is rubbish, right? And it is nonsense, and it is fake, because they want your likes, they want your views, they want your retweets, they want your attention, right? You have got to be very, very careful. This could be true, by the way. I'm not talking even about this, but I am just saying there is a lot of nonsense out there, right? Some of the stuff I get tagged in, unbelievable, mate. Unbelievable. Very clearly nonsense. I tell you what I do, right? It's very simple what I do. If someone tags me in something and it's from a source I've never heard of, like, you know, John's Wrestling Show, right? I don't flipping know what that is. John's Wrestling Show, right? It's going to be Dominic versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship, right? I will not take that as fact from John's Wrestling Show, right? That, at the moment, this is not fact. What I look for is, where did John get the information from? If he says, as per Fightful, or as per PW Insider, or as per Dave Meltzer, I then go to those places to find the story. So if he says as per Fightful, I go to Fightful and I look to see if I can find that story, right? Because I want to read exactly the wording that was used. Because it's not only if it was true or not, but it's also, what's the actual detail? What's the actual story, right? I'm very interested to know the detail and the breakdown. Because sometimes things can get taken out of context. So I always try to do that work where I go to the original source. And a lot of the time you will get people saying things like, as per reports, as per reports. They don't even name the source, so there's nowhere to go and check. Anyone that sends me something like that, it does not make unseen. And it doesn't even register in my brain. It's nonsense. As per reports. What reports? What reports? What reports? Right? Where did you get it from? That to me is as important as the actual news itself. So I don't think I've seen that news. It could be true. It could be breaking. It could be coming from Fightful. It could be coming from different places. But yeah, wherever these things come from are just as important as the news. There was one I got tagged in the other day, actually. I can't even remember what that was, but that was an as per reports. And you're like, Jesus, what a load of nonsense. But as I said, this one could be legit. I'm not talking specifically about this one. I'm just saying in general, I am getting a lot of rubbish sent through at the moment. Dean said, Daze, I am ready for tonight's show. I can't wait. Should be good. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good way to follow up Homecoming by having champion versus champion. So I am very excited by tonight. I hope the rest of the show can deliver. We know last week, of course, we had a stacked show. We had a big show that was just full of big matches, returning legends, loads of stuff like that. Whereas this show, it kind of feels like it's built a little bit more around just that one match, you know? So I hope the rest of the show can be strong. I hope the rest of the show can give us the platform we need to then put the main event on and it be a big success. I mean, maybe if we see like some TNA people in the background throughout the show, that would be good. Imagine if in the background we keep seeing the odd TNA talent. And then, of course, we do get like the big invasion at the end. Like, that could be really fun. So I agree. I'm excited as well. James said, our mate from NXT UK, Sha Samuels, has become a Rev Pro champion. That's good. I do like Sha Samuels. I did hope he would come in and work with Noam Dar. I really enjoyed those two together. So I do wish him all the very best in the future. So seems like he's doing well. Jersey's Finest said, I would like to see TNA win some matches. They deserve more from the WWE partnership. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This one's a bit of a tricky one for me because I sort of feel like we have got the TNA belts on NXT talent. And I think a lot of TNA fans have seen that as a disrespect. I don't view it that way, of course, because I'm an NXT fan. But what I see is TNA getting mentioned all the time on NXT. Their belts being shown on NXT. TNA talent coming onto NXT to try and get those belts. And it's just a really easy, simple way of getting TNA talent onto NXT. Like, I mean, I suppose you could have... I mean, look, to be honest with you, NXT talent going to TNA, I don't think that does as much for TNA because their ratings are like, I don't even know, 200,000, probably not that, right? I know that when we've looked at ratings in the past, it's been 100 and some thousand for TNA. NXT is like 650. I mean, it is considerably bigger. NXT is considerably bigger than TNA. I am not saying this as shade, right? We have had this conversation many times, right? Obviously, there is a treaty, there is a truce, peace in our time. WWE, TNA, just like Macho Man and Hulk Hogan, yeah, coming together, mutual respect. So, I mean, it's all good, but facts are facts, and the facts are that NXT gets more viewers than TNA, okay? So, if you put NXT talent on TNA, I don't think you're going to get too many NXT viewers going and watching, depending on who it is. I mean, if you're going to put on some big stars championship matches, make it a big deal, but you can't do that on a regular basis. You can do it once in a while, maybe at a PLE, and maybe the occasional Impact, but you can't do it week in, week out. I mean, you can put Josh Briggs over there or Ridge Holland over there, but you ain't going to get NXT viewers tuning in for that. It's going to need to be somewhat sizable, and you can't do that regular, week in, week out, right? Unless you do an open challenge, which would be pretty fun, and maybe something for the future. But what you can do is you can put the TNA belt onto an NXT talent. Then you can have that belt featured weekly on NXT in front of 650,000 viewers, 700,000 last week. And you've got a reason to be bringing TNA talent over onto the bigger show. So the argument that TNA is not getting anything out of this partnership, or that TNA deserves better, is a thin argument with me, because I think that you're not quite looking at the business sides, and you're not quite looking at the benefits that TNA are getting. This, I mean, they broke their all-time attendance record for a show not long ago. The NXT partnership is not hurting TNA. I mean, you would have to show me the evidence that it is hurting TNA. As far as what I know, like, attendance is doing really well. There's talk of them coming onto a major network. WWE are clearly not going to be standing in TNA's way with certain things like that. In fact, I think they would love for TNA. I mean, word was to go on to, was it the USA Network or CW Network, and actually go up against AEW. And, you know, if TNA did that, it would be a big increase on their views that they get now. So they would see an increase, but also WWE would benefit because they would be hoping that AEW would see a decrease. And of course, WWE would send superstars to TNA to help them with that ratings battle, right? And they've been sending people to TNA as well. Granted, not the biggest of names, but, you know, NXT doesn't have loads of massive names to send, and you're not going to get main roster stars. And we did send AJ Styles, let's not forget that. He did pop up at, was it Slammiversary? So, I mean, if you want to boil it down to wins and losses, I would say, yeah, NXT has probably won more matches, but I mean, that is just a very small metric to look at. Wins and losses. And, you know, Ash by Elegance got back the women's title. One of the TNA talents will get that belt from Trick eventually. It could be Mike Santana, who's, I think, done really, really well. You know, Joe Hendry popping up all the time, Mike Santana coming over. There's been plenty of people that have been featured on NXT TV. It's been great exposure for TNA. I can certainly name a lot more of their roster now than I could before, so I don't know. I think if you just focused on wins, I think there are reasons as to why the belts went on to NXT talent. I think they are beneficial. I think it is beneficial to TNA, what we have been doing. And certainly from the numbers, there's no negative impact. And I really don't believe this is about we're better than TNA and all that sort of stuff. I don't buy that. I don't think there's a need for NXT to do that. I think NXT already knows that it gets more viewers, and it's part of WWE. Like, it doesn't need to do that. There's not a reason to do that. There just is no purpose for that. So, like, for me, this is WWE's developmental. Everyone can look at the views and see that it gets more views. There really is no need or benefit to just punching TNA in the face for no reason. So I do think that fans that are quite tribal do kind of look at this in a way that is like, oh, we're being disrespected and everything. When for me, I just think it's more business. I really think it's just business. I think at the end of the day, it's in WWE's benefit that this partnership works, because I think there are a lot of benefits. There's another place to send wrestlers to get experience. There's a different crowd, a different environment, different kind of, you know, if you're a wrestler and you're just used to being in the performance center and being on NXT, you are being taken out of your comfort zone to go in front of a TNA crowd. And that's a good experience to have, and different talent to work with, you know? And so I sort of feel like this works. I think it's beneficial. I think we're doing a story at the moment where we've just had both of the TNA belts. We've still got one, but I expect Trick will lose that back soon. And then, you know, at some point, TNA talent will win an NXT title. And then you'll probably have NXT fans crying, right? Going, oh, God, this partnership doesn't work. Why is it that TNA have got these belts? Blah, 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 right? And we carry on, yeah? So I think the partnership overall, from an NXT point of view, I think has been positive. I think if you was to ask the majority of TNA fans, I think they would say it was positive. I can't really speak for them, but I would hope they would see the numbers coming in for their business, which are better than they have been. I think that shows that this is certainly not a bad partnership for either party. And to be honest, we've both got a common enemy, and it's AEW. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's like America and Britain coming together to destroy the Nazis. It is absolutely exactly the same as that. There is no differences whatsoever. It is exactly like America is WWE, big, powerful. You've got the plucky underdog that's TNA, that's Britain, right? And we're trying to take down the evil Nazis, which of course is AEW with Hair Khan, yeah? Heil Khan, right? In charge of the Nazis. And that is the most constructive way of looking at this partnership. That is exactly how I view it, right? Joining forces to bring down a common enemy, yeah? And if you do watch, I'm just going to leave you with this now, because we've spoken on this subject for quite a long time. If you do watch AEW, you are supporting the Nazis, right? That is the headline. Whatever you take away from this conversation, that is the headline, okay? So think about that, yeah? All you people that were watching All Out, yeah? Which side of history do you actually want to be on? Carr said, the web was epic last week. People probably want Grimm versus Daze on GTS. Put Tommy in as a special guest referee, says Carr. The Wrestling Escape Pod is... the Wrestling Escape Pod is a constant marvel in the sense of it's just constantly I'm trying to find a way of making it entertaining as much as we can, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think in every episode there's moments. I think in every episode there's rubbish moments. I think it's a mixed bag, and I do wish that we would kill the episode after an hour. I don't want to go an hour and 20, and I do keep telling Tommy this. I'm like, can we please wrap it up at an hour? Because I think that we should just get everything in that we need to get in that time. I think there's bits that drag that we don't need to spend as long on. I do really not like being in control, to be honest. I don't have any ability to do anything now, only my words. Whereas before, I could always... go over to the photos, or, I could change it if I wanted to just move us on. And I do find that we just stay on things a bit too long sometimes. But, it is what it is. There's some really, really great stuff that's in there, though. Some of my favourite moments streaming have been on the web, honestly. Some of my absolute favourite moments have come from the web. But it is a real mixed bag. I'll be the first to say and admit. But if you don't do scripted content, if you haven't got it all pre-planned and you really just don't know where the conversation's going to go, you are going to get ups and downs, peaks and troughs. I think what we should be doing over there is pulling out those better moments and giving them room to breathe in shorts, because I think there's so many really fun moments that even I kind of forget a lot of them. And I think it would be nice to kind of pull out some of those moments, So if you enjoyed it, brilliant. But yeah, I really wish we would end it after an hour rather than going 120. I think we definitely need to be stricter with kind of cutting it off at when we've done an hour. Big Time said, Daze, I kid you not, TNA has not sniffed about 600,000 since before 2015. WrestleNomics said their highest viewed show was 454 in 2015, and that was when they were on the American channel. Yeah, I mean, it's, as I said, it's no shade. It is, it's no shade. It's just, you know, they haven't really got the platform, do they? I mean, they're not on USA Network. They're not on CW Network. If they were, I'm sure their views would be much, much better. So, I don't know. Maybe this partnership can open some doors and, you know, they can see a real explosion of growth again. So, who knows where it leads? I think it's quite intriguing. So, this is why I'm saying, don't worry about wins and losses, right? Don't worry about if you, you know, the flipping Elegance brand loses to whoever, the Fatal Influence. Like, that doesn't really matter. Maybe if it gets to the point where it's just constant and you're not even getting a win. But I mean, I'll point to Ash by Elegance winning that title back the other day as a victory. Plus, I believe Dark State lost at like Slammiversary. I mean, there's definitely been wins for TNA over NXT talent, right? And you will get that belt back from Trick. It's just who's going to be the one that does it, right? Who's the person that achieves it? And when they do, they'll be a big hero. And so that's going to be a great moment for them. So this is why I'm like, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Look at the business side. Look at the fact that you're getting, I mean, you might be a TNA invasion tonight. And if there is, that's going to be the talk of the wrestling worlds. Yeah? If TNA invade tonight, the wrestling world is going to be talking about it. You'll get loads of reaction clips. You'll get loads of mentions in video. If you didn't have the WWE partnership, none of this would be happening. This is why, like, just don't focus on the flipping wins and losses so much. Macarai said, Cena, Dom being discussed. Do we think this leads to Gunther possibly winning the IC title and retiring Cena? I would hope not. I don't need Gunther to be around an IC title. So I would hope not. I think for me, I'm really down on the Gunther match. I'm here for it. And I very much would just do that match as Gunther bragging about being the one that kind of sent John off into retirement, retiring Cena without him getting a victory, and being the one that kind of ruined his big farewell. Yeah. And so for me, there doesn't need to be a belt involved in that. I don't need Cena winning the IC title. I don't care for it. I've said before, I think Grand Slam champion is below what Cena has achieved. I think that if you're a Grand Slam champion, then you won the belts normally as you go up to a world title. So you had a tag run like Johnny and Tommaso are. You have a mid-card run. That would be the next logical step, that you win a mid-card title. And then you crown everything off by winning the top title, yeah? Like, that's the journey. That's the normal path. You win the top title. And so you're a world champ, you're a Grand Slam champ. Lovely, lovely, lovely. But if you was so big of a deal that you dominated wrestling for decades and you won 17 world titles and you didn't become a Grand Slam champ because you just bypassed the mid-card belt, I mean, you've bypassed being a Grand Slam champion. I mean, what you are doing is just so much bigger and more important. You've gone on to be a 17-time world champion. I mean, a Grand Slam champ achievement is below you. It's something that you can do to say you did it. It's a box that you can tick, but it ain't a box that means a massive deal. It ain't like, oh my God, I hope he can do it because his career will be ruined if he doesn't. Like, that ain't how I look at being a Grand Slam champ. Grand Slam champ is something you achieve as you head up to being a world champion. If you want to go back after and just win a tag title or win a mid-card title just so you can tick the box, I mean, it's a box ticking exercise. It just adds the achievement to your Wikipedia page. But it ain't going to be that when you see John in the future, they announce him as the Grand Slam champion John Cena. I mean, which achievement do you think is bigger, being a Grand Slam champion or being a 17-time world champion? Because I already know the answer to that. And it's the 17-time world champion. So this is why, for me, like Grand Slam champion, it's a box ticking exercise. It's not a massive story. It's not a massive deal. You can make it a massive story and you can make it as big as you want. But I don't give a flip about it, honestly. So if Cena wins the IC title, fine. If he doesn't, fine. Really don't care. He's achieved way more than the IC belt and way more than being a Grand Slam champion. But if people want him to have it so he can tick a box, fine. But it really makes no difference to me. I really, really do not care. So, yeah, to be honest, I don't feel like Cena needs it. And I certainly don't feel like Gunther needs it. So that is maybe not a popular opinion. There might be a lot of people out there that are like, oh, he's got to do it, man. He's got to do it. He's got to win that IC belt. It's like, dude, come on. He's well beyond that. If you want him to have it because you just want it on his list of achievements, I get it. That's fine. I ain't down on that, right? But he doesn't need it. Daze, would you like a picture of EO's knees? Oh, well, there was a Twitter account that was already posting pictures of EO's knees. So, I'm not a pervert, right? I was just pointing out the fact that there would be people excited by EO's knees. And then, of course, we see there's people on Twitter going, is anyone else still thinking about this? Is anyone else still thinking about EO's knees? And that was just people from our community. So, you know, I knew those people were out there. You know those perverts are out there. Al said, kudos to Bea Priestley. She's back in Stardom. She's been wrestling talent like Azumi, who was only 9 the first time that Bea wrestled in Stardom. Others weren't yet born. Bea is a beautiful talent, says Al. Carr said, should Ilya versus Dominic? Now, I'm more into that. I'm more into Ilya Dominic because Ilya is the living embodiment of the Intercontinental Championship. The Intercontinental Championship, to me, is a workhorse belt. It's a belt that should be defended really more than every 30 days, but if it's every 30 days, then fine. That is the old rule of thumb. But, you know, for me, the Intercontinental belt is the workhorse belt. That's the belt that you put on someone that's no nonsense, that goes about things the right way. It's your Bret Hart belt, yeah? You know, you'd put that belt on Bret. I'd put that belt on Ken Shamrock. I'd put that belt on Kurt Angle. I'd put that belt on Brock Lesnar if he, you know, had a little run in the mid-card when he was first coming through. He doesn't need it now, but when he was first coming through, yeah? That is the legit belt that you put on a Natalia, yeah? She should have had that women's one. So for me, Ilya Dragunov, if we got the Intercontinental title and we turned it into a human, I think it would be Ilya Dragunov. Or it might be Sheamus. I mean, Sheamus is no nonsense. Banger after banger, just loves to fight. Workhorse. That's Sheamus. He's IC champ. Ilya Dragunov, flipping, you know, his H-bomb that he comes down with and the emotion, the raw emotion, the grit, the determination. That's the IC belt. Yes, I am way into that match. Give me that match. Give me Ilya versus Dominic for the IC title. Give him a run in the mid-card for Ilya. Move him up to the top. Do you know, I think actually that's another reason why I'm just not that bothered about Cena having that belt, because Cena, he's not going to be around very long, and I think if we get to that belt, it's more for Cena than it is for the belt. You know, it's Cena ticking a box. You know, it's Cena at this stage in his career is not what the IC belt is all about. The IC belt is about a workhorse. It's about someone that's, you know, going to be putting that work in. Cena absolutely did that back in the day, but with 4 dates left to go, he ain't doing it now at this stage in his career. So I think, you know, I'm way more excited about a Sheamus having that belt, or an Ilya having that belt, or even a Penta. Penta isn't really the person I would think of for the IC title, but he is someone that wrestles on a regular basis. He is someone that gives a lot in his matches, And he is someone that doesn't feel like he's going to get a world title yet. He feels mid-card. So, I mean, I wouldn't be down on Penta having a run with it. He's not the living embodiment of that belt for me. If that belt became a human, it would be Sheamus or Ilya. It wouldn't be Penta. But I wouldn't be down on Penta having it. That would be fine. I wouldn't be down on LA Knight having it, but I think people are hoping LA Knight's more around the world title. Sami Zayn is another living embodiment of that belt. Sami Zayn is another prime example of someone that I think really represents that IC title. So, and to be honest, I don't think Dominic is. I don't think Dominic is the living. Dominic is a heel that doesn't defend that belt enough. He's a heel that is just trying to keep that belt at any chance he possibly can. He is on TV on a regular basis, which is good, but that belt does not get enough. This run from Dominic has not been good since he's had it. I don't think anyone would say this has been a great Intercontinental run since Dominic won it at all. So, you know, I don't think it's been brilliant on Dominic, but I think it was the right thing to put it on Dominic. But, yeah, I'm ready for something different, man. Ilya, Sheamus, yeah, one of them. Right, Harbour Ginger said, Grand Slam means different things at different times. Titles come and go like a European Championship. Cena did get a mid-card. He won the US title. Titles in Grand Slams change throughout the years. Yeah, I think you have to win them both, don't you, now? I mean, it is true, like, it changes as, like, the number of belts we have change. I think as well you can have like Super Grand Slam and all this sort of stuff. And I think you're right. I think that waters it down. I mean, if you win a top world title, you've won a world title and that adds to your number. So, you know, if you are a world champion, then you're a one-time world champion. If you win another one, you're a two-time world champion. And that number keeps increasing. I mean, clearly, if you've been a five-time world champion, that's not as good as being a 10-time world champion. Although you can make the argument, of course, that you might have had longer runs with those belts and actually you was a better champion. I mean, Bruno Sammartino is a two-time world champion in WWE. I don't think he won the NWA title, so I think he was just a two-time world champion. So he is obviously someone that had those belts for 11 years. So, I mean, there are big asterisks to these achievements. So it's one of those where, yes, you are correct. Being a Grand Slam champion, it changes as the number of belts change. And so I think that has also sort of watered it down for me. Some people said like, is Bayley a Grand Slam champion anymore? Because she had won, I think, the top titles and the tag titles, right? But now there's mid-card titles, and she hasn't won one. So can she be classed as... So are we saying now that we take away Grand Slam champion? Are we saying now, oh, you was a Grand Slam champion, but it's kind of changed now because we've got mid-card belts, and you haven't won one of those. So you can't call yourself a Grand Slam champ anymore. So what, do we take it away? I mean, I would say no. I would say she was a Grand Slam champion in the era where she did what she needed to do to achieve it, but it's messy, isn't it? It's rubbish. I flipping hate it. It sucks, and we never talk about it. We never talk about it. Name all the Grand Slam champions on the main roster right now. We never talk about it. But for some reason, people are fixated on Cena achieving it, as if it's like some massive deal. I think what it is, honestly, is people are looking at Cena as being a GOAT, and they love him, and they just want him to achieve as much as he can in this final year. So if he'd have never won the Rumble, they'd want him to win the Rumble. If he'd never won an Elimination Chamber, they'd want him to have that. He's never won the IC title, let's give him that, right? And so I think it's really just about him getting as much as he can in this final year, and I don't think it's anything more than that. But the Grand Slam conversation is like a weird one because we just never talk about it. But for some reason, there's a lot of people that really want to see Cena achieve it, and I just don't give a flip. That's honestly my honest opinion on it. I'm basically a grumpy old man that shouts at clouds. But you know that anyway. Connor said, do we think that the John Cena AJ Styles match will be the main event? I wouldn't think so, no. Or do we think Seth Cody? Yeah, Seth Cody. Miz is a double Grand Slam champ, isn't he? Yeah. Miz is one of the only ones I've ever seen shout about it. But I think the reason is because he hasn't got he can shout about being an X, I don't even know how many times he's had it, but an X amount of times Intercontinental champion, yeah? I know he's won it multiple times. So he can shout about that, and he can shout about being, a 2-time WWE champion? So, he then, just loves bragging, doesn't he? So, he's going to shout about whatever he can shout about. But, when you're John Cena and you've got 17 world titles to your name, honestly, there really is no... Who cares how many times John Cena's been a tag champ? Who cares how many times he's won a mid-card? The guy's a 17-time world champion. That's the only thing he needs. That's the only thing that matters. A 17-time world champion. To be honest, Miz being a 2-time world champion, you can't sniff at that. That is still a hell of an achievement. Roddy Piper was never a WWE champion. Jake the Snake was never a WWE champion. Mr. Perfect was never a WWE champion. And there's loads of great names that never achieved it. Andre the Giant only got to be a WWE champion by the absolute skin of his teeth. Oh my God, WWE nearly fumbled that one by him never winning that belt. And to be honest, I feel like he's only got it out of kind of luck. He's only got that record out of luck that he's a former 1-time WWE champion. And that's Andre the Giant. They had a big wall at their headquarters where they could have put anything on it, and they chose to paint Andre the Giant. That's how much he means to the company. They could have put flipping Stone Cold on that wall. They could have put The Rock on that wall. But they put Andre the Giant on this big wall, this big feature wall, one of the big things you see when you walk. That's how much that guy meant. And he's a 1-time WWE champion, held the belt for 2 minutes. Gave it up to the $1 Million Man. That's how we got to WrestleMania 4. So, even he's only a 1-time champ by flipping skin of his teeth. So actually, The Miz being a 2-time champ, respect. Right, Big Time said when NXT and AEW were battling, there was 1.5 or 1.6 that were watching. NXT AEW fans didn't watch the show, even if it was head-to-heads. It's very similar to when WCW ended, those viewers left wrestling. Where are we now? So we had 700,000 last week for WWE. Was it 500 some thousand? So we're about 1.2 million now, and it was 1.5, 1.6. Yeah, there's been a decrease. The only thing I'd say is that they do get some viewers on Max, don't they? Which I don't know that number. I'm not sure what that number is, but apparently I keep hearing you can't just take the TV number. Apparently there's a good amount of viewers on Max. I heard that it was 200,000, but that was including people that just watch for a minute. So for people that just watch long enough for their view to be registered, it was about 200,000. But that's not the real number of people that watch the full show, right? But it's probably still a good sizable thousands and thousands and thousands. So I'm not sure what the decrease actually is because of the online for AEW. But there is a decrease, I'm sure of that. And I do agree, it seems like those people have just kind of drifted away from wrestling. But to be honest with you, if there was people that were watching AEW because the WWE product wasn't for them, and then AEW goes sour, I don't know that they would turn to WWE because they've probably already decided that WWE is just not for them. And I don't think what Triple H books is that drastically different to Vince. It's probably a bit less cringe, and it's probably a little bit tighter on a weekly basis, but it's also a bit dull. And this year it has been very safe and comfortable and a bit dull, right? It's a bit like keeping your socks on in bed. That's been WWE in 2025, right? It's not been throes of passion, yeah? It's been a hot water bottle and keeping your socks on in bed. That's been WWE in 2025. But, my friends, something happened, yeah? Yesterday on Raw, we took a sock off, didn't we? Yeah? Things got a little bit kinkier yesterday. We saw a flicker of hope. We actually saw that there is a little bit of passion lurking in the company. And so hopes are high that we can actually get a bit down and dirty as we head into 2026. So I am really hopeful for the future following yesterday's Raw, because I don't think they fluked that Raw. I don't think they put a show on and went, oh my God, we just put on an amazing show and we didn't intend to. Like, I think they intended that show. I mean, there's a lot of work that went into it. There's a lot of stories that are being told. You know, there's a lot of good backstage segments that lead to more interesting matches. And I don't know why the in-ring was better yesterday, but the in-ring just felt better as well. I don't know why. I wish I could answer that one, because I can't really tell you why the in-ring has been lots of good ratings from you guys, but yesterday we started to get more great. We had 5 matches yesterday. You said 3 of them were great. We have had whole Raws and SmackDowns where not a single match has got a great rating. That is science. I am not coming to you with just opinion. I am coming to you with science, right? Facts. That we have had a lot of shows this year where there has not been a single great match from the community. There was 3 out of 5 yesterday, right? Add in the storylines, add in the review video we did where I'm used to seeing 5s and 4s and people going, I don't know how much longer I can watch this show. And then I'm reading the comments yesterday and it's like, this was so good. This was the show we needed. This was the perfect follow-up to WrestlePalooza. And people were so excited. And it was lovely. It was lovely. I do get accused of being negative by certain people, right, in the chat at times. And that's fine. But I would look at it more that I am just being honest. I don't want to tell you something's good if it's not good, right? I mean, you hear all the time about these kind of reaction clips and how, you know, everything's amazing. These people think everything's amazing. They love everything, right? It's like, well, clearly you don't watch our streams, do you? You must just watch the reaction clips. You must just watch the exciting moments that become clips rather than actually watching the stream, where I think we have very balanced conversations, because there is good and bad in WWE, just like there is good and bad in the world, right? There is good and bad in WWE. We are negative about the bad, but we praise the good. NXT has been fantastic in 2025. Yesterday's Raw, I think the word brilliant was used in the title, right? But I can't use that language about shows like WrestlePalooza when WrestlePalooza does not deserve that language. So, you know, it's one of those where I hope we're just reflecting what we are viewing, and we are being honest and authentic about what we are seeing. And so, you know, if that does come across as negative, well, then it was a negative year, wasn't it? It was not a very good year. And I think a lot of people would say 2025 has not been as good as recent years. So I am more excited about the future after yesterday's Raw. I am more optimistic. It is the hope that kills you, but it was the show we needed. It was the show we were looking for. James said, Daze, with everyone got a price, what's your price to say F you lot, I'm leaving? I would say probably a Greg's steak bake. Probably a Greg's steak bake would be enough for me to go F you lot, I'm done, I'm out of here. Yeah. What's that? £2.50? £2.50, something like that, £2.60. I don't know how much they are these days. But yeah, around about that ballpark, to be honest. It's not a high, you'd think it was a high amount, but honestly not. Honestly not. No, I don't know, honestly. I mean, I love doing what we're doing. I'd have to be really excited by whatever the alternative was. I don't know. I don't know what it would be that would excite me, what the alternative would be that would excite me. So I would want to be doing something that I felt was constructive, useful, enjoyable, probably still wrestling related, but I don't know, do I? I mean, it would depend what opportunity came along. I think that, I walked away from some really great opportunities when I was in retail. I walked away from, I could have been doing some really exciting stuff with the place of work that I was at. And, that was a big call, to be honest, to walk away from that and, decide to do this instead. And so I feel like I've already kind of chosen this over some pretty big, pretty exciting opportunities. So it would have to be something really special. I don't envisage that ever coming along. I don't even know what that would be. So, yeah, I don't know. I think you're stuck with me for a while, to be honest. Unless someone buys me a Greg's steak bacon, then I'm out of here. Right. Donald Trump. Spelt backwards. So it was a little challenging to read. But Donald Trump or Donald Perpt says MFT getting disbanded, Solo becoming a tag team, JC Tomato is going solo, as is Taller Tonga. Donald Prompt, thank you, appreciate it, bud. Right, Corey said, as good as Raw was last night, I am getting tired of no meaningful tag matches and having some women wrestle Roxy and then turn around and wrestle Raquel the next week. Yeah, I mean, look, I think the score that I gave the show was like an 8, and I agree with you. It's not a perfect show. I think what excites me about it, though, is the fact that it was, you can do it again next week. There was no championship match on that show. There was no major return on that show. You did get Asuka heel turn at the end, which you obviously can't do that every week. But I think a moment at the end of the show, a cliffhanger, a final statement is possible, right? It doesn't have to be a turn, does it? It could be anything. It could be a return, or it could be a title change. I mean, really, when it comes to Raw, you got 52 weeks that you got to book. So you got to think about it that way. Like, okay, I got 52 weeks. If I do 4 matches on a show, maybe 5, then I'm looking at about 250 matches a year, ballpark. So I got to book 250 matches. I need a main event for 52 weeks. I could really do with every show having a couple of talking points. So I need about 100 talking points. So just for Raw in a year, I need about 100 talking points, maybe 3 a show, which would be 150. And I'm not talking little looks. I'm talking like, do you know what I mean? Like something a bit juicier. But if you think about what you've got at your disposal, that roster and the titles and other stipulations like friendships going sour and people betraying each other and things along those lines, returns, you can start to fill it out a little bit, and you can start to the point I'm making is the show we got yesterday, even though we did get the Asuka turn at the end on EO, I really believe you can replicate. I really believe it won't be hard to do a show of that quality again next week and the week after and the week after and the week after, right? I think you could. I really believe you could. I genuinely believe I could sit in a room and I genuinely believe I could do it. If they gave me that task, that's how I would go about it. I got Raw, 52 weeks in a year. I want to make sure that I've got a good main event. I need 52 good main events. So Triple H, what's my roster? What am I playing with? And I'm going to map out, right, what are the matches that people would like to see. Then I'm going to work out how do I build them over the weeks before and, flesh it out from there and actually get a framework in place where I know my main events, I know my talking points, I know what I want on each show and how the story builds. I mean, they always say start at the end, work backwards. So I would do that. I would start at the end, I'd work backwards, right? And I really believe I could do it. And I don't see anything yesterday that scared me, that made me go, oh my God, that was historic. That's a show we'll never repeat again. I mean, it was storyline progression, and it was solid, great matches. But none of them matches were all time. I mean, the main event was really good. I will give it that. You know, it was really, really good. So maybe you can't quite get to an 8 week in, week out. Perhaps some weeks it's going to be a 7. Perhaps some weeks it's going to be a 7.25. Perhaps some weeks it's going to be a 7.5. Perhaps some weeks it's going to be an 8.5, right? But I do think that show, it's not hard to keep it at that level rather than where it's been in 2025, which I would argue is more around 6 out of 10, right? So I'm excited by that. But it's not perfect. And there are still things that are not quite right. And I agree with you, like Bayley going after Roxanne, Bayley going after Raquel. But I think the thing with Bayley is it doesn't really matter who she's facing at the moment. It's more about what's she doing with her character. So where does this go? It doesn't really matter. I mean, like, you could have Bayley against just jobbers. You could bring in no-named jobbers like we did back in the day and have Bayley beat them. It's more about her character than it is who she's going in matches with and whatnot. I do agree, though. Do we need Roxanne to get beaten on Raw? I mean, would it have been better if it was a jobber? But then you make the argument, well, then Roxanne doesn't really get on the show at all, does she? Apart from a backstage segment. So, you know, you have to kind of weigh up the pros and the cons of that. So, but yeah, no, I don't think anyone's saying this is 10 out of 10, absolutely perfect. This is the greatest Raw of all time. But I do think it's up there with being one of the best Raws of the year. Really, you know, so many great backstage segments. As we said, 3 out of 5 matches that delivered. And I don't know, just some good vibes back in the community and back in the wrestling fandom again. I mean, that is worth its weight, its gold right now. Certainly coming out of WrestlePalooza where, I mean, blimey now. Online, it was like everything was on fire. I mean, all you saw online was people running around in tears, just like proclaiming this was the end of the world. It's funny, isn't it, how, you know, you fast forward, just have a really good show out of Raw, and then like everyone just goes, oh, oh, that's more like it. That's better. Right, Jared said, do we know if Brock has gone now? Did he come back for this match with John? Personally, I think Brock just needs to leave. There's too many fans that are not happy. No, he's around. I think he's even been shown during the promotion for WrestleMania. So he's around. I mean, I think, you know, he spoke to Heyman and said we should talk. And I know that Heyman introduced Brock. But a lot of the chat after was, what's the relationship with you and Brock? What's happening? And Heyman's sort of being very coy about that. He's not saying anything. They're clearly seeds for the future. That's clearly a direction we're heading. And we're teasing what's happening with him and Paul. I mean, everyone's looking, going, right, Brock's going to help the Vision. You know, the Vision are going to need to get another person. Heyman's going to call Brock, isn't he? So we expect that. I expect him in the Rumble, and he will be at WrestleMania. He's kind of being promoted. The only way that this falls apart is if wrestling fans really make their voices heard and are just not happy with Brock being back, and just, you know, it kicks off. But I think if that was to happen, it would have happened. I think if that was to happen, it would have happened following SummerSlam. And I think it would have happened in the weeks leading up to obviously WrestlePalooza. I think that there would have been more signs in the crowd, and I think, you know, the message I've received is that wrestling fans aren't really phased about Brock being back, right? I don't know that they are loving Brock being back, but they are not down on Brock being back to the point where they just want him out. That message has not come across to me. I honestly think people are upset because of what happened to John. I don't think it's anything to do with Brock being back. I think it's more to do with John getting beaten in the way that he did. And I think it's a bit like John Cena, to me, feels like you just can't criticize John right now. It's a bit like Swifties. I feel like a lot of WWE fans have turned into Swifties. You know, like if you actually criticize Taylor Swift, her fan base comes after you. It's kind of a bit like that with John now. Now that we've stopped messing around with a John Cena heel turn and we've actually gone back to him being like a face, all of a sudden now, like, don't criticize John. Don't go beating John. You can't beat John. I mean, look at the reaction Sammy got. I mean, people like Sammy. He got a good reaction the other day. Like, he was getting Sammy chants. Like, the fans haven't turned on Sammy. But you're going to have a match against John Cena. You're going to try and beat John Cena. No. Right? That's wrestling fans right now. So, yeah, don't you dare. Honestly, even me saying these words right now, I am putting my life at risk. I am putting my life at risk. Even just bringing this to your attention. So I really don't feel like right now you can be too critical of John, and you can't beat John, and you certainly can't humiliate John like Brock did. And so I actually think the heat for Brock is coming from that more than anything else. So no, he's here, he's back, he's here to stay unless some drastic changes. And I think that ship sailed, honestly. I think that ship sailed. I'll be very surprised if there's any kind of movement that rises up now. Adam said, I'm going to bribe you to stay, Adam, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, we've had a few people send in like really kind donations, and I really do appreciate it. So Adam's always firing in really kind donations, and yeah, no, I really do appreciate it. But I appreciate everyone that just hangs out with us, shares their thoughts. I mean, I just love talking wrestling. That's why the channel started. I've said before, you know, I had no one to talk to wrestling with. There was no one that I knew that enjoyed it. There was no one that wanted to talk about it. And so that's why the channel started. But when I was in Southampton, when the channel first starts, if you go back 2016, 2017, those first few years, I'm living in Southampton. And I couldn't do streams. I was still at work. I was still working in retail. And so I couldn't watch the shows live. I had work the next day. And I wasn't able to kind of give as much time as I can now. And so the content was a bit different. It was more talking wrestling, but in video form. And it was like toy hunts because people enjoyed those. So, I mean, yeah, great, I'll do that. If people love those videos, I'll do those videos. So, I mean, there was a lot of like playing around and everything. But the purpose of the channel was always really to sit and talk wrestling. And, you know, this is why the streams have, you know, really, you know, become the channel. I mean, since 2018 when I left, that's when I started the streams. And so we've been doing these for 7 years now. And, yeah, I mean, I love it. I don't have to start 2 hours before every show, right? I could have some extra sleep. Do you know what I mean? I could probably have, like, some more food and a nap. Maybe watch a TV show, yeah? But I'm here chatting with you guys because for the love of the game, for the love of the goddamn game, right? So I just appreciate people hanging with us, sharing their thoughts. If I don't get to your comments, don't worry. People can see them. They're on screen. I put them on screen so that people can see them whilst I'm chatting away. People can glance and read what you are saying right there. Yeah? So you are seen. You are heard, unless you stay in the shadows, and then no one can see you, no one can hear you. But I still love you. Yeah. So, Adam, thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Joe said, if I gave you $1 million, would you do this forever? Because I would start saving now, says Joe. Thank you, Joe. Honestly, but I don't know. I mean, this to me is a pleasure to do this. It is a joy to do this. I enjoy doing this. I've said before, and it's been proven to be true, hasn't it? It's been proven to be true that if I chose to go to a wrestling show, a WWE wrestling show like Clash at the Castle, like Money in the Bank in London, Clash at the Castle in Wales, Clash at the Castle in Scotland, Raw in Birmingham, Raw in London, SmackDowns, Clash in Paris? No problem. Easy to get to Paris from the UK. I would much rather be sat here with you guys, watching, reacting, talking, than being at the actual shows. So, like, I feel like I back up my words. I feel like when I say these things, I can point to examples where I am telling the truth, that I would much rather be here than there. And I don't think anyone's going to make an argument that I'm a fake fan or something like that, considering I've been watching since the early 90s. I've been doing this channel since 2018. If I'm a fake fan, I'm a blooming dedicated one, right? So for me, like, I think it's all, I back it up with what I say, you know? I don't abandon you guys and go off to these shows. I'm here during these shows. I'll be here this weekend for No Mercy. I'll be here for when we do Crown Jewel. I'll be here for Survivor Series. I'd be here when WrestleMania comes to London. I'll still be here, right? You might have to excuse me if I pop to WWE World, though, because I really do want to do that. But that shouldn't interrupt with any of our kind of big major streams. But yeah, no, I love doing this. I don't think you're going to have to really work too hard to convince me. This is why, if there was any reason that I was going to step away, it would have to be a blooming life-changing, you know. It'd have to be like WWE saying, we'd love to bring you on board as like a interviewer backstage or something. Which, to be honest, I would really have to give thought to, because I don't think I'm qualified for that. And I don't know that how I would feel as a fan seeing people get a position like that coming from YouTube. I think I would not be a fan of it as a fan, because I would be thinking that, but then if Chris Van Vliet got it, I'd be thrilled for him. He deserves it. I'm surprised that WWE have not actually took him as one of their kind of exclusive interviewers, you know? I'm surprised that they don't, even if they don't use him as a backstage interviewer, but just use him, you know, like how they've got all those podcasts. They've got like Cody's and Undertaker's and Steph's. Why don't they buy Chris Van Vliet's and bring him in? Because he does interviews better than he's better than all of them. He's better than the ex-wrestlers, isn't he? I think he's the best in the business when it comes to doing like the interviews of the wrestlers. I am very surprised no one has come in and kind of picked him up and brought them into their family. Perhaps someone's asked and he's turned it down. Because if he did that, he wouldn't be able to speak to AEW anymore, right? They wouldn't allow that, of course they wouldn't. It would just be TNA and it would be WWE. And perhaps he just enjoys kind of the freedom that he's got right now. So, I don't know, I can't speak for him, but I think he does a great job. But, I mean, honestly, short of something like that, I can't see me going anywhere, so... Benny said, I think you've got a lot left in the tank. Oh my God, channeling our inner Mark Henry. You do a fair job with some reviews. I think some people say every show is good and that's what gets them invited to post shows. Yeah, well, I'm not interested in that. I'm not. I have absolutely no. Why would you? No, I'm not going to say anything. I'll end up getting in trouble, won't I? Because I ain't got no shade to throw at anyone else. I don't really know what other people are saying. But without talking about anyone in particular, because I'm genuinely not talking about anyone in particular, because I don't watch other people that do what I do, right? So I genuinely am not talking about anyone in particular. I have no one in mind. But if there is anyone out there that is praising everything, wouldn't you see through that, like, in 2 seconds flat? Wouldn't that just be the most obvious fake thing in the world? I don't even know how those people would keep a community. I don't even understand how that would work, to be honest. Like, surely authenticity and being real and being honest, even if at times it's detrimental to the channel, right? Surely that is what people value. Surely that is what people want. That's what I wanted. I wanted genuine, honest thoughts when I was watching, when I was working in retail. I wanted to know really what people were thinking. And then, you know, that would help me with kind of, I suppose, in a way, what I was thinking. It would either back it up or it would challenge my point. And, you know, it might challenge my point where I might change my opinion, or it might challenge my point and I might feel even more like, no, I hear what you're saying, but I'm very happy with where I stand on this. You know, it might be like we've said a lot about how I'm not a fan of Brock being back, and I've explained why. You might have heard my arguments, and they might make you even more adamant that you are fine with it, right? Because you've heard the counterpoint and you've gone, no, I hear it. I get where you're coming from. I don't feel that way. And it might just actually mean that your stance is more cemented with where you stand. And so if I don't provide anything else, I think at least I provide that, you know? If I don't provide anything else, I provide that. And maybe a community folder in Unseen, yeah? So I can at least guarantee those things going forward, so... But yeah, I don't know. I've always put a price on honesty and whatnot, because what's the point? What is the point in having like this platform and then just pray? I mean, the reason you do it is so, as you say, maybe WWE notice you, and then you get opportunities with WWE. But I don't care. I don't care about WWE giving me opportunities. I mean, I am planning for my life not being connected with WWE. I'm not trying. It's not like I'm trying to get in with them. I don't care to work for them. So, I suppose in a way I've got a freedom there. Nathan said, I'm positive about wrestling, but I do love being here. Daze is my go-to for reviews. I appreciate the honesty. Nathan, shout out to you. I'm positive about wrestling as well, in the sense of I love wrestling. I think it's one of the best forms of entertainment. I think it really does mix in theatre and sports, athleticism, character work, charisma, spectacle. I mean, I don't know that theatre, I mean, like theatre can be a massive spectacle. Of course it can. And it is, of course, really varied. But, you know, it's not very accessible. I mean, if you want to go to the theatre, it's more of a live, in-person experience that's very expensive. You know, this is on TV multiple times a week. This is a very accessible form of theatre, but with sport and athleticism mixed in as well. Conflict resolution. I mean, you can have a play where, you know, it's got nothing to do with conflict resolution, whereas this is, you know, there's issues and we've got a ring to sort those issues out. And there's, you know, I mean, it's just, wrestling is such an amazing gift to the world. Certainly pro wrestling. So, you know, I'm as big a supporter as you'll find, but I mean, obviously within that, there's good and bad. Just like within theatre, there's good and bad. Just like how amazing music is, but not every album knocks it out the park. Which is just like how not every match knocks it out the park, or not every show knocks it out the park. So, I mean, I don't think it's possible to be positive. You can be positive about music, but I don't know if you're being honest, you can be positive about every album that's made. And you can be positive about theatre, but you can't be positive about every play that is put on. And I sort of feel with the amount of matches and the amount of shows that we watch, that is my honest comparison. I am very high on pro wrestling. I think it's one of the greatest forms of entertainment, maybe the greatest. I do love music as well, though. Honestly, I think wrestling beats films. I really do. I think wrestling's better. If someone says, would you want to spend the rest of your life watching movies or watching pro wrestling, there's not even a choice to be made. There's not even a choice. And I think it beats TV shows as well for me, because I think wrestling brings together a lot of the best of TV shows. You have comedy, you have drama, there's stories, there's characters. If someone was like, you can watch all the TV shows for the rest of time, or you can watch pro wrestling, it's a tough choice, that one. That one's harder for me than movies. I think I'm taking pro wrestling. because I think pro wrestling has got everything in it. And so I think I'd be taking pro wrestling, but I don't know about music. Music's tough. I do love music. But for me, like, I really have no problem with making those kinds of comparisons. Pro wrestling is an art form. It is a medium, and it is fantastic. It's up there. It's in the conversation with TV shows, movies, sports, music, video games. Oh, do you want to play video games for the rest of your life, or do you want to watch pro wrestling? No choice. Pro wrestling. They're easy. That one's easy. Movies is easy. Games is easy. TV shows is tough. That's tougher. That one I struggle with. And music I struggle with. But it's in that conversation. That's the level it's at for me. And but again, you know, I can't sit here and tell you that every match, every show is amazing. Just like I would not tell you that every football game is amazing. I love football and really enjoy it. Love watching England play, but God, there's some awful stuff. Some absolute rubbish matches, boring 0-0 draws that you kind of like, I feel like I've just wasted my life watching that, you know? So, yeah, I think it's okay to be critical. It's okay to be honest. I think as long as it is understood that it comes from a positive place. Because sometimes we do get people jumping in the chat going, oh, God, if you don't like wrestling, then just stop watching. And it's like, man, you just don't get this. You just don't understand this at all. You don't understand what this is. You have no idea what this is. This is wrestling fans that love wrestling being honest about what they're seeing. But that love for the game doesn't go away. It's just maybe the love for this show is not there, right? Maybe this show isn't reaching the standards we would hope for. But like going to a play, criticizing it, and then someone going, God, if you don't like theatre, why do you even bother coming to plays? It's like, dude, this one play does not represent theatre. Just like how this one show does not represent pro wrestling. Sometimes I'm really pleased to have a microphone, because these are the kind of thoughts I have when I read some like comments online, and you're like, there's people out there, man, that just don't get it. They don't get it. Right. Oh, well, we've actually still got 20 minutes to go. I really thought we were there or thereabouts. Let's blast through some comments, shall we? Boom! Akeem said, right, Cena has been all over the place. I'm glad it's over. Not Cena's fault. He'll be missed. But the booking, good grief, says Akeem. Big Time said, Daze, when a wrestler gets released, say WWE is the dream job that you wanted. Obviously, it's devastating because the mindset could be, it took me 4 or 5 years to get back. It's defeating. Yes, it is. It is. There is. I mean, that's a big conversation, but I think the thing with life is that you aim for the stars, and if you fall short, you land on the moon or something like that. Aim for the moon, land on the stars, either, right? If you're a pro wrestler, you aim for WWE. To be honest, if you make it to WWE, you've sort of achieved something a lot of wrestlers won't ever achieve. So if you get to WWE and have a bit of time there, like, say, Cora Jade did, like Tegan Nox did, you can look at it as, I was so close. Or you can look at it as, I flipping did it. You know, I did it. I got to be at WWE. I got to feature. I can go back and watch old shows where I am showcased. I am featured. I am a former WWE superstar. I am someone that was in that system. Like, I did it. I reached for the stars. I reached for the moon. I landed the ship. Like, I did it. There are so many people that don't make it that far that I think you'd have to reframe. Yes, you would want more, but the thing is, John Cena wants more. Undertaker wants more. You will always want more. You could be on the main roster and not win a title and be sad because you made it to the main roster and you never won a belt. You could make it to the main roster and win a mid-card belt but be sad because you never won a world title. You could make it to the main roster and win a world title, but be sad because it was once and it wasn't very long and you don't really feel like you had a run with it. I mean, like, you've always got to kind of reframe how you think. If you get into wrestling and the only thing that is going to bring you happiness is being in WWE for years and years and years, winning loads of championships, right? Being on that main roster. If that's the only thing that is going to make you happy about being a pro wrestler, then I think you was wrong to get into pro wrestling. Because I think that your vision was too narrow. I think that you should get into wrestling because you love wrestling. And I know that's easier said than done. But to get into something and, that would be like getting into, I don't know, being a engineer for computer software and being like, I'm either going to get to Microsoft and I'm going to have a hell of a career, otherwise everything else is rubbish. And you end up working for some small startup and you're sad. Microsoft. And it's like, well, that shouldn't be your everything. It shouldn't be that or nothing, should it? I mean, I think if you go in with that mentality, you're kind of doomed to fail anyway. Because there's wrestlers that have been in WWE a long time. I mean, ask The Miz if he would have liked more. I'm sure he's grateful for what he had, but he would certainly have liked more. R-Truth has always said he wished he had longer, being a bad guy and, having a run and going after world titles. He wishes he hadn't have gone into the comedy stuff as quick as he did. I think you've really got to think about reframing your perspective. And I think that if getting to WWE and being on the main roster and being there for years and winning all the belts, that's the only thing that's going to bring you happiness, and anything less than that is going to be disappointing. Oh, I don't know, man. I think you're setting yourself up for a fall. I think you've really set your sights too narrow. Big Time said, there's many times I remember wanting to abandon wrestling because the product was driving me away, but I couldn't because I was so passionate, and it has been my escape. Yes, Big Time, I hear that. I have been there many times as well. I agree. Retro Gaming said, with wrestling, you have to get it. It's hard to explain to non-fans. The business just grabs you like nothing else can. Well said. I completely agree. Mitchell said, I just want to say, hey, I can't make it now, but I wanted to send some love. So, Mitchell, shout out to you, buds. James said, but I don't think everyone's honest with their thoughts, though, says James. Well, maybe everyone isn't, I mean, that's for you guys as viewers to decide. You've got a power. Your power is you've got the ability to join people that you think are the most interesting, the most engaging, the most thoughtful, the most honest. You've got the ability to kind of go to places that you think is worthy of your time. And you have that ability. And so I think that, you can vote in that way, right? And I'm very, very fortunate, very, very blessed. I think the only thing I can do is just be myself and be honest. It's the right thing to do. And, I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed that we've done this for as long as what we've done this. I mean, we've been streaming 7 years now. The channel will have been around 10 years next year. I think it's 10 years in January that the channel will have existed. It started in January of 2016. And so it will be 10 years in January next year, which is quite a big anniversary and is quite a milestone to kind of look at what has been achieved. And, the fact that we're still here and we're as strong as we've ever been, we're as big as we've ever been. Our presence, our community is, I would say, as vibrant as it has ever been, I mean, we are very, very fortunate with that. Very, very fortunate. So, I don't know. I just keep my fingers crossed that whatever it is we're doing is kind of working. And, could it be better? Well, yeah, I'm sure it could. I'm sure there's lots of thoughts and ideas as to how we could improve. And maybe that's something I will do in January, really do a deep dive in the community to get thoughts of what changes could we bring in. I think there'll be a lot of, if we do that, a lot of counter thoughts. You know, you might get people going, I wish you would get to more comments. But then you might get people going, I wish we would dig into certain topics more. Or I wish we would do this. And then someone else might say, I wish we would do the opposite. And you do find that sometimes. A lot of people want to try and take you in lots of different directions that kind of counter each other. I suppose the thing to do is to try and find that sweet spot in the middle, really, that kind of works for the most people possible. So, I mean, I feel like we're doing as good a job as we can. But, yeah, there could be quick fixes. There could be changes. There could be stuff that we could tweak that could make a nice difference, that could be really easy to bring in, you know? Those ideas, I think, I'd love those. Anyone got any of those thoughts? I'll take them all day. Certainly ones that, like, we can introduce. I'll tell you one that I thought the other day that I was really toying with, and it's something we might do. I was really thinking of using Google Forms, because I'm using that for a little game we're doing in the members side. But I could get a 10, right? Like, choose the option, right? 1 to 10. And we could start reviewing the show at the very end of the stream. The way I do it at the moment is over on the opinions channel, but you've only got 4 options, which is bad, good, great, all time, same as the matches. But if I use a Google form, I can have as many options as I want, and we can have 1 to 10, and it would give us a much more accurate scoring system. And so I don't think we can do that for the matches, but we could do that after the show. I mean, I could even create a Google form as the show is going along, publish it after, and you could do that for the matches. So you could do that for the matches. You could have a much more detailed breakdown scoring for the matches and for the shows, rather than just the 4 options that you get. So, I don't know, I was thinking about things like that. Those kind of thoughts come in my head. I know that there's people that said they'd like to get halftime scores back. Re-recording that and getting that back was something that went through my head recently. Doing like a new recording of the halftime score song. So I think there's definitely things. I think a good way to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the channel would be maybe to reach out and see if there's any kind of fixes like that. And look, maybe I do need to get to more people's thoughts. I did put a counter on screen, and I got to 200 for WrestlePalooza. I answered 200 comments before the show even started, which doesn't sound like much. But if you think that 200 comments, if you spend a minute on each one, that would be over 3 hours, wouldn't it? Because, 200 minutes is what, 3 hours 20? So if you just spend 1 minute on each comment, that's 3 hours 20. It doesn't really feel that way, does it? If you just say 200, it seems like getting through 200 comments would be easy. But if you just spend 1 minute on each one, it would be over 3 hours. So, I think it's one of those where I don't think I would ever get through thousands and thousands of comments. I think we need to be realistic with, I just wouldn't have the time. And certainly when the shows start, I think people want us to be focused on that instead as well. So this is why the 2 hours is quite useful, actually. Carl said, WrestleOps put out a list on X. It's bad because there's only one superstar on it, and it's mostly AEW stars. I don't know, what is that, their favorite wrestlers or something? That just sounds like an opinion piece. So, that's fair. I don't watch AEW, so I couldn't tell you who the best wrestlers are, including AEW talent. But I can tell you that there's a lot of stars in WWE that have had a great year. Io's had a fantastic year. I don't think that Rhea has had a terrible year this year. She's been featured a lot. I mean, she was at WrestleMania, Evolution, SummerSlam. She's been a champion this year. She's constantly in the conversation. Looks like she's going to be next for Stephanie. Looks like she's getting involved in a feud with Asuka. I think she's had a good year this year. Obviously, AJ Lee coming back. Punk's having a great year. So Punk's having a good time. Seth's had maybe the best year. Winning Money in the Bank, winning the World Heavyweight Championship, winning the main event of WrestleMania, getting a Paul Heyman, Blimey now. I mean, it's only the end of September. So, like, Seth's had a fantastic year. So, yeah, I think there's lots of people that have had some good years in WWE. Tiffany's had a great year. I know that maybe her matches have not been up to standard, but they've really committed to her, haven't they? They've really invested in her. I mean, if you want a thumbs up vote of confidence, they've certainly given that to Tiffany. They are certainly backing her. So, you know, I think I've not seen that list. I wouldn't worry about it. Edward said, Daze, how are you? I'm good, thanks. I leave in 2 days, so I'm going to announce that SmackDown is meant to be my last stream, but because there is a pay-per-view on Saturday, I will be there. Well, yes, it's true. Edward's having to walk away. He's got other priorities in life. Life does that. And so there we go. This weekend, Edward walking away. But hopefully we'll be back in the future. It doesn't have to be a big emotional goodbye forever, does it? So just to see you again soon. Just one of those. But yeah, you will be missed, Edward. Very much so. Edward always provides really fun video clips and kind of jumps in and keeps the conversation going. So I don't know. Can we find another Edward? Is there another Edward out there? I very much doubt there is. I think the mold was definitely broken when Edward came along. Joe said, pro wrestling or one night with Lyra Valkyria? Well, I mean, I like Lyra Valkyria. Just a nice, good-looking girl. It's an opportunity you probably wouldn't want to turn down. But I don't know that I would sacrifice watching pro wrestling ever again for that. I don't think that she can carry that sort of a price, you know? So I don't know. For me, it's going to be pro wrestling, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, Lyra. She's going to be absolutely devastated. To be honest, I don't even really want to say it out loud because that is the kind of thing that will knock a young lady back. Finding out that pro wrestling has been selected over her. And it's just not going to do her confidence good at all. But yeah, I'm sorry, that one. Not a difficult choice. I could sit here and make out that it's but I'm afraid it's not a difficult choice. Pro wrestling is the lady I love. Yeah. If there's only one lady in my life, she's called pro wrestling. Yeah. Or Linda McMahon. It's one of those. Ronnie said 2 months ago, I was homeless. It says addicted to drugs, but this week I celebrate 1 month sober. Thank you, Daze, for being a constant in my life. Wow, Ronnie, that's amazing. Ronnie, where are you staying at the moment, Ronnie? I mean, this sounds great that you've kind of really turned things around. That's really inspirational. So, Ronnie, mate, I've got nothing but respect for this comment. So, 1 month sober, yeah, you was homeless, managed to get we're moving forwards. Have you got, like, you know, next steps? Are we working towards climbing that ladder? I mean, that's how I would view it, honestly. It's like, I think with life, the big picture can always drag you down. Like, the big picture can always be daunting, overwhelming, suffocating. And the big picture really can do more harm than good sometimes. Sometimes you can just look at where you are in life. And I've been there, man. I've been there where I just look at where I am in life and I'm just really not happy with it. And, like, you kind of look at the big picture and you just don't see that way forwards. And you just don't, you know, it's just really overwhelming. But I think if you really break it down into the decisions, I mean, you have to make thousands of decisions every day. Every day you make a decision. Everything you do is a decision. You know, what time to get up, where you're going, what you're eating, what you're drinking, what you're doing, who you're interacting with. Everything you do is a decision. So what are the positive decisions that you can make? What are the good decisions you can choose over the bad decisions? Can you recognize that is a bad decision and that is a bad direction. That is a good decision. That is a good direction. Sometimes you're not going to know. And if you don't know, you just have to make a call, right? And that's fine. I've been there. I had to make that call with, do I do this channel? Do I stay in retail? I didn't know, right? I still don't know if I made the right call. Because I've said before, and I'll say it again, if you think that YouTube is going to bring you wealth and fame and money and happiness, it does not. Not unless you get to Mr. Beast level. I mean, I often look and wonder, would I actually be in a better financial position if I stayed in retail? And I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think that there were definitely times where I would have been much better off staying in retail. And I think it's one of those where you just have to go, but you know what? I love doing this and I'm happy doing this, and that means a lot. So you sort of have to weigh those things up, don't you? But it's about making the right calls, making the right decisions, certainly when you know what is good and what is bad. Sometimes you won't know. But if you can break it down and make more good decisions than bad, I'd be really confident that you'll end up in a good place eventually. Might take a detour, but I am confident you will end up in a good place eventually. So if there is a secret to life, I think it's probably that. Try and really make those good decisions. Try not to succumb to the bad decisions. Try and keep moving forward, and try and, keep trying to improve your situation. And hopefully if you keep making those good decisions over bad, it will just naturally do that. So Ronnie said, thanks for the support, though. I'm in temporary housing now. Well, that's brilliant, Ronnie. I'm so pleased to hear that things are going well for you, mate. You have absolutely got the community behind your back, willing you on, driving you forward, being a support. That's brilliant. Absolutely love that. Love that. So, Ronnie, shout out to you, my friends. It's crazy, isn't it? All we do is just talk about wrestling. And when I say talk, I mean moan. And it's just crazy, like how much it can, action or whatever. So, Ronnie, you are an inspiration, my friends. Nothing but respect from me to you and for this community to you. I literally speak for everyone. I don't even care what other people are saying. I speak for everyone. That's the power that I have. It's the only power I have. I don't have any power, actually. Right, here we go. We're going over to NXT. Let's see. Are TNA going to invade NXT? NXT. They're showing us last week. They're showing us Homecoming, which was really good, actually. It was a really fun show. Right, let's get rid of that. Lovely. Okay, Glockner said, I don't date anymore. I foster a woman until she finds a forever home. Is that what you do? You just bring lost women in? Keep them in your home until they find their forever. That's actually such a lovely... I don't mind that, actually. As like a life mission. Finding women that just are a little bit lost, need a bit of love in their life. You provide it for a period of time until they get on their feet and find their forever partner. I couldn't do that. This job takes too much of my time away, but I respect that. It's nice. Daze, in your opinion, when would we bring the righteous in, said Sean. Hello, Sean. Hope you're well. When would I bring them in? Whenever. I don't know that I would really wait for a specific time. I think that you always need surprises and moments. And you could say this weekend. You could say, Survivor Series weekends. I mean, I don't really think there's a need to wait. If you've signed them, which I don't know that they have, we know there was an interest. But if they have signed them, I mean, just whenever. Let's go. Bring them in. We can always accommodate. Gotta be flexible in the wrestling world. There we go. We're just seeing last week, may the best man win. James said, I don't date either. No woman is good enough for me. Brackets except Trini. Oh, hello. Hello. Love that. Trini, if you're watching, there is a secret admirer. I'm not going to reveal any names, Trini. But a little bird, one of my sources, I do have sources. One of my sources told me that you've got a secret admirer. Love that for you. Okay, we are NXT. Benny said, I love your lectures on wrestling. Yeah, lectures. That sounds fun, doesn't it? Oh, Eric Young in the background. Moose in the background. Is that Matt Cardona? Is that Matt Cardona in the background? Was that Matt Cardona? Is he in TNA? I recognise those two. And then I was like, it looked like Matt Cardona, but I don't know he's with TNA, is he? Yeah, it was. Oh, wow. Wow. Mate, hopefully that word gets around and gets around quick. Do not miss this show. Things are going down. Oh, hello, lights have gone out. What the hell's this? Myles, Bourne and Lexis King are getting straight at it. Is that where the switch is? Right at the entrance stage. Why is the switch there? It's a weird place to put the switch, isn't it? Right, we are underway with... so the flipping lights. So the light's going to come back. Can no one go and turn the switch back up again? The light... There we go. Someone has. No, they're off again. Trash can choked in the ring there by Myles Bourne. Joe said, Metal Mama is my community crush, but don't tell my wife, says Joe. Joe, your secret is safe with me, but your secret is safe with me. I think it'll be lovely if everyone can let us know which of the female members in our community you've got secret crushes on, because that won't be creepy at all, will it? If everyone's like, well, if we're going to start doing this now, I've always had a thing for Pamela. I love Pamela 167. So, Joe, thank you. Thank you for making this even more awkward than it was. Appreciate it, but Metal Mama. Secret admirer has just shown that... Well, not shown themselves. That sounds bad. Your secret admirer has not shown themselves. I don't want that getting out there. 1, 2, Lexis going for the cover. No joy. Scottish Nightmare said, I would call the police. Yeah, guys, please no one name Scottish Nightmare, otherwise things are going to really turn sour. Okay, right now, Myles Bourne is down. There is a wrestling show going on. Gets the ropes, goes Myles Bourne. Why are the lights still off? Why are the lights? I thought they'd put the lights on. Chair shot. Boom! Lexis King with a chair. Lexis King with a chair. Right now, he's got the chair. He's keeping Myles Bourne down. Daze, do we think that Blake and Jordan could have a match at Halloween Havoc? Yeah. Yeah, they're still feuding, aren't they? I mean, I don't know. Well, when is that? Is that going to be the end of October? So another, 4 weeks? That's not too far. 4 weeks isn't too far away, is it? So, yeah, we could. Okay, right now we got a cross jacket and a knee being driven in the back. If you are joining us, this is Myles Bourne against Lexis King, and the lights are out. Looks nice, actually, with the NXT logo just sort of illuminating in the background. Bang, slam down Myles Bourne onto a chair. Perhaps I just missed that this was like a lights out match, anything goes match. We got trash cans, we got chairs. There wasn't a preview, so I mean, I didn't actually see the stipulations on this. Okay, kicks coming in. Jake said, "Is this AEW or anything?" DeGrim1 said, "It is lights out." Ah, right. Yeah, I didn't see the preview for this. I just saw that it was Myles against Lexis, so that would explain why they've not turned the lights back on. And it would explain the weapons as well, so fair play. Okay, Lexis over in the corner, charging in. He gets, oh, mates. Snap, power slam, vintage Randy Orton. Vintage Randy Orton. So there we go, Lexis down, and we're going over to commercial break. Brony said, this is giving me NXT Underground vibes, the way the lights look. Spawny Boy said, maybe they're going to keep this for the dark TNA invasion. Bones said, it's different. I like it. And Tracy says we're at commercial. Suzanne said, it's picture-in-picture. And Mitchell said, the match is giving me Seth versus Bray vibes. Jersey, thank you. And Edward said, Daze, I don't have a crush on anyone. But if it had to be something, it would be Mama Daze. She's a proper gilf. Oh, Gran. Oh, she's not a Gran. I ain't got no kids. I think she still qualifies as a MILF, actually. I think she's still a MILF. She's still only a mom. She's not a gran. Going over through the ropes. Against the commentary table goes Myles. Glockness said, it's the weekly how can we make wrestling more difficult for Myles Bourne match. Yeah. So you're deaf, Myles. You have to lip read, do you? Okay. Lights out match! Yay! But how will I lip read? Don't know. Your problem, innit? Right now we've got Lexis and Myles. They're on a commentary table. The coronation. Swinging net breaker is what it is. And it's so soft it doesn't even break the table. The table didn't even break, says... and it's not one of them new tables. It's one of those old, easy-to-break tables. But that's how soft the coronation is. It's just a little wispy move. Should have DDT'd and just driven him in the table. Kick out there by Myles. Kian said, I'm friends with ladies in the community. I've already got a crush on someone. So that's my answer. If I did have a crush on someone in the community, I wouldn't say so. Kian, there's not a single person in this chat right now that doesn't know who you've got a crush on. Ah! Whips from Lexis. His unloading on Myles. Myles going back to the corner. Into the ring posts. Myles goes down. Spills to the outsides. So right now we got Myles on the outside. We got Lexis looking under the ring. He's getting a table. That'll please the crowd. They love tables. I don't know if they can see that a table's being introduced, though. And it is a Slim Jim table. Yes! Slim Jim table being introduced. Well, I tell you what, they're really giving this platform, aren't they? Really giving this a showcase. Right now, the table being introduced. That's pretty fun. Someone online has just put a completely black image, just like black, and they've said this match is awesome. To the outside goes Lexis. Myles. Oh my God, he got hit in the face. Did he get hit in the face? Just as he came through the ropes there, Lexis with the belts. Did he hit him in the face? He seemed to grab his body, so I think it was the body, but I think it was face, was it? Was it face? Are they even still wrestling right now? On the outside kick coming in there by Lexis, I think. I'm not sure. Right now we got Myles on the outside. Lexis grabbing a hold of Myles, looking to throw him into the... no joy. Reversed into the edge of the ring. I feel like there's a bit more light that's just appeared. He's going to look to slingshot him into the ring post, and he does... oh, into a chair. There was a chair that was by the ring post. Sweets everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Okay, right now, ring steps. No, reverse. Oh, into the ring steps goes Myles Bourne. Into the ring steps. This is awesome. Is the champ by the crowds. Chair shot. Okay, so Booker's like, did you hear that chair shot? Chair going over the head there of Myles. That chair is... it's over the head of Myles. Lexis is going to look to stomp down on it. Ah, Myles moves out the way. Barricades! Boom! Lexis goes through the barricades. This is a good match. There is lots of spots here, isn't there? Lots of spots. That barricade just flipping exploded. Look at that. Ow. Wrestling with Andy said, Daze, I'd love NXT to bring back Cyber Sunday. I'd be down for that. We spoke about Cyber Sunday a few times, haven't we? And about why there were challenges to it. But I think you could do a few tweaks to make it work. In the ring goes Myles. Clothesline there by Lexis. Myles goes to the outside. Lexis getting those ring steps. So Lexis has got the ring steps set up underneath the table. So going out the ring. Down he goes. Oh, he's got the belt and he's whipping him. He's got the belt and he's whipping him. Oh, mates. Again, whipping away, getting in the ring. Oh. He's got him in the corner. No, another big blow. Super kick coming in. Jesus. Right now, we got Lexis with Myles dragging him over. He's looking for a suplex off those ring steps. DDT onto the ring steps. Yeah, this is fun. This is fun. We got a big spot now looking for... whoa. Bourne again through a table, and that should do it, and it does. Myles Bourne gets the win. Myles Bourne gets the win. Myles Bourne. Yes. Yes, Kings. That young man fought his heart out, says Booker. Good. It's fun. I'm not sure about the lights out aspect to it, though. I would have enjoyed that match more if the lights were on. I don't think the lights out made that match better. Personally. I'm still in England taking care of business. What's that about? Ava's in England. Is she coming for me? Is she on her way? Oh, there's some TNA talent backstage. Did you invite them? She's gone. She's gone. Looks like the Prime Minister's in charge. Okay, there is Ethan Page. Myles Bourne walks past. I'm just looking, seeing if there's any TNA talent around still, but... Yes, that is Steph DeLander, who used to be in NXT as Persia Pirotta. Used to be in as Persia Pirotta. I don't like the Born Again spot because Myles goes through the table before his opponent. Surely that should hurt Myles more. How are you, Daze? I'm good, thank you. Mance Warner and Steph DeLander, said Wrestling Fan. Ava isn't in England. She's only saying that. It makes sense for her to not be there with the TNA stuff. It seems like Ava didn't plan this, says Brony. Yeah, but why say she's in England? Couldn't she say she's running late? I'm in England attending some business. I mean, you could be right. Maybe let's not read anything into it if there's not anything that needs to be read into it. But equally, let's read into it because it's fun. Guys, she's in England. They're setting up NXT Europe. I am sure of it. That is basically WWE saying we are setting up NXT Europe. It's basically just been confirmed. It has basically just been confirmed. We've got NXT Mexico with AAA. Of course they would turn their attention to Europe. They stopped NXT UK because they wanted to do NXT Europe. And now Ava, the general manager of NXT, is in England. Mate, the math is mathing. Yeah? The math is mathing. That is going to be a massive talking point that I think a lot of people are just not going to mention. But we're on it. England should get events over there, said Love Cats. I'd love to get NXT over here. Oh, I'd drop you like a... Oh, mate. I'd be off. If NXT comes over, I love NXT. I'm out. I'm out of here. Bye. Yeah. I did go actually to some shows when they came over. I went to Brighton and I went to Bournemouth and I really did enjoy them. How about an NXT PLE, said Retro Gamer. Let's go, mate. Let's go. That would be so good. That would be so good. It's such a shame they don't do it. From a financial point of view, I can understand getting everyone on a plane, going over to the UK. You know, do you need to have that extra expense when you can just do it in America? I get it. But I do love NXT, and it would be great to have it over here. Daze, I'll sing for you. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. I mean, that is James singing me off as I leave you guys to go and watch NXT in the UK. But we all know James would be crying as he would be singing that. his voice cracking as he tries to get the words out with emotion. So that might sound like it's disrespectful, but we all know that it would actually be very emotional. Retro Gamer said they could bring UK Rampage with NXT in the UK. Yeah, let's go. Porky Pig said, I love how you'll leave us instantly if NXT comes to the UK. But if WrestleMania's in the UK, you stay with us. Yeah. It's because I've got mixed up priorities. Do you know, part of it, right, would be that if you go to an NXT show, I think there's a chance you could meet the talent. I don't think it would be that hard to bump into some of the wrestlers, shake their hand, get a picture. You know, not at the hotel or at the airport. I just mean, you know, around the show. The place where it's okay to say hello to them, yeah? Like that, I think that would be possible. But if you go to WrestleMania, you ain't meeting the wrestlers. So, I don't know. For me, I like the grassroots. You know, I've said if I lived in Florida, I'd regularly go to the NXT live event, house shows. I would regularly do that. Financially, it would be a nightmare for me, but because I'd want to go to the shows and I'd want to do the VIP thing, and it's not expensive. It's like $20. Might be 25, 30 now, but it's not expensive. Front row seats. You get to get in half an hour before and chat with some of the wrestlers. And you get a picture with them. $30. Amazing. Dr. Wagner Jr. is in the house. The doctor is in the house. Buddy, kill him with a smile. Here's Ego, Ethan, Paige, all Ego, all Ethan. We've got a-hole chants. An a-hole chant. 230 said, Daze, you could be the green shirt guy of NXT England. That's always been my dream. I'd wear a green shirt, right, in the front row that says F green shirt guy. Yeah, that's what I'd wear. Green shirt guy sucks. Sucks. Welcome to NXT, Wagner, Dr. Wagner. Two-belt champ. Muchacho, Mr. Wagner. Does he know anything that Ethan's saying? Okay, is invited Dr. Wagner to No Mercy. Standing up. Why don't I invite you in the ring? The doctor is getting over the barricades. The doctor is getting in the ring. The doctor is in the house. Clothesline by the doctor. And again. Ooh, the glasses, the glasses, the glasses. The glasses. Save the glasses. Someone save the glasses. Dr. Wagner has made Ethan tap. Was that a match? Has he won the belt? No, he's not won the belt. He holds up the belt. Tavian! What have I witnessed? Okay, so it's Tavian Ethan this weekend. I don't believe he's won the belt. So it wasn't Dr. Wagner. It was Tavian. That's a fun reveal. Okay, here's Jordan. Yeah, we did see development with Blake Monroe, didn't we? She started to kind of show a little bit more of a darker side. Oh, there's Kendall. There's Ren. Big fan of Rendell. Okay, so it's going to be Jordan against Ariana Grace tonight. Okay, Candice LeRae coming out now. God, really good show, this. It's just like, what? Don't like this. I don't like this music. What did we do to her music? What's this music? Has this always been her music? This hasn't always been her music. Didn't she come out to, like, Poison Pixie type music? What the hell's this? Generic nonsense. Did we lose her music? What the hell's this? Right, we've gone to commercial break. Retro said, love Candice, hate music. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know why I've not really noticed that she's... Well, when do we see Candice? To be honest, I'm gonna cut myself a break there. When do we ever see Candice? So I'm okay with not noticing that she's got awful music these days. Okay, so Wagner Jr. submitted Ethan Page, but it was Tavian, and it looks like that match is gonna be this weekend. Okay, if Lainey wins, they're really trying to shove her down our throats, says Dr. Lucha Lala. They've Def Rebelled her, said Jennifer. That is exactly what they've done, Jennifer. You're right. She's been Def Rebelled. Oh, God. And not even in a good Def Rebel way, you know, where they get, like, AI voices and do things like that. Bad, lazy Def Rebelled. Candice versus Lainey is our next match. Speed match. It's only going to take 3 minutes. That's what she said. Taker 1990 said, Braze, last match was the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. I believe it was, yes. That was his... I don't know if he did a live event match, but I believe it's be the Pitch Black match. Final Boomer said, when is Zarya turning on Sol Ruka? When is Zarya turning on Sol Ruka? It's a slow burn, that one, isn't it? Taking a bit of time, that one. Corey said, I was here earlier. 2 of my 6 bad dogs dug out the yard. I had to go get those punks. Corey, sounds like you're having a challenging day. But welcome. NXT has been good so far. Mayor Pete said, Def Rebel have put out some amazing bangers. Well, I do like their Fatal Influence track. I will give them credit for that. They've done a few things. I'm not going to say they've not done anything, but I think a lot of people would say there's more misses than hits. Great 61 for Lexis Myles. So another great match to add to the collection. We won't rate Wagner Jr. I mean, that thing was just nothing. Candice against Lainey is what we've got coming up now. Right, Daze, I would love NXT in Colombia as small steps towards a bigger PLE in Colombia. The coffee is excellent, and with some wrestling, it would be awesome. Well, I believe you've got some really good drug cartels, so it's not just the coffee, in all fairness. So I think you are known for very high-quality cocaine. Don't sell yourself short. That's all I'm saying, right? You've got a lot more to offer the world than just coffee. Yeah. And maybe that would be enough to entice WWE. Right, we are at commercial break. Daze, JC Jane said that she made the 8 Fatal Influence song, but I don't know if she sings on it or not. No, I mean, she might have made it, but if she did make it, we know that she took a sample from a pack, like a copyright-free sample pack, and then kind of manipulated it. I believe it was Def Rebel that actually did that. I don't believe it to be JC that did that. But if JC wants to take ownership of it because she thinks it's better for her character, then so be it. Oh, who's this guy? What's happened to the referee? Cold Custard! Who's Cold Custard? Flip! Is that what we're doing now? Because this is Speeds. We're getting Cold Custard out there. Here's Laney Reed. We're bringing out NASCAR drivers to reinforce the fact that this is quick. Laney Reed, I really know very little about. Well, there we go. You want talking points? You've got a talking point. There is Zaruka. Zarya was right in her sign, but she took way too long and she missed her cue. Solruka was booing. Lainey looks up at the platform. There is Candice. Candice. I don't like either. That's what Zarya says. I don't like either. She's not a fan of either. Candice comes crashing down. I mean, technically... Oh, Candice got caught! Botch. How do you botch in a 3-minute match? And we're only 20 seconds in. She went on the ropes and she was like, oh, she was all at sea. Okay, there's Zaya. The Angel Warriors have arrived. The Angel Warriors, which, to be honest, that's what the Ultimate Warrior is now. He's an Angel Warrior. Right now, we've got Lainey going up in the corner to the outside. There's Candice. She's trying to throw in a kick. Guys, I can't get past the botch. I just can't get past it. Yeah, I do like how it changes colour now that we've gone into the second minute. On the outside, looking for a suplex. No joy at the moment. Coming in. Bang! To the outside. Candice on the outside. Lainey on the outside. She's going up. She gets it. Yeah, she got it that time. If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's what Candice did. And she nailed it that time. Oh, that was lovely takedown. Okay, Candice has decided she's going to cook. Candice, I've beat you once, I'll do it again. Zarya says Lainey, I guess. Roll up there by Lainey. Kick out by Candice. We're down to the final minute. Candice has redeemed herself. Bridge. Lainey. Backslide. The time is counting down. I think the 3 minutes is too short, but 1, 2, no. Kick out there by Lainey. Oh, big knee. 1, 2, 3. Lainey gets it. Lainey gets it. Laney Reed is a winner. A winner, I tell you. How many minds has she changed? Not loads. She's not massively changed my minds. Well, there we go. Sol Ruka against Laney Reed. Perhaps Laney Reed could be like a speed specialist. I didn't expect that, said Duran. Oh, it was a big knee. It was a lovely replay. Big knee. Is another soul going to be snatched? There we go. I don't mind speed. I mean, like, it. How inoffensive is that? It just comes and goes, and it's just like. Pfft. Lash Legend, says Jada. Enjoy your dub, frame it, and put it on a wall. I see right through you, says Jada. So Jada sending a message. I just want to see if I can find that. Botch. Jada doing a great promo here, by the way. Really good vignette. Goods. Oh, Lyra. Lyra, backstage with Tatum. Is it my fault? Nothing is ever your fault. Hello in the background. Is that Alicia Fox? Is that Alicia Fox? There's Izzy. She's left you before, and you're smart enough now to know she can leave you again. Well, there we go. Tatum Paxley is copying Alexa Bliss with her doll, says Miguel. Days, if Raw did a whole night of speed matches, they would have 6, said Dog Pounds. Oh, if they did, I mean, like, they're only 3 minutes long, so, I mean, they would have... How many would they have? I mean, obviously, you need to do intros and everything, so... I don't know, perhaps you could even do 6 an hour. I don't know how. Maybe you could do 8. You could end up doing 24 matches on a Raw. I don't know, man. I don't know how many you would get. You'd have flipping loads. I was trying to find that botch for the Talking Points video, but it seems like no one's bothered. I'm really bothered by it. It's completely changed the way I look at Candice. I'm joking, of course, but I would include it. But, no one cares. We don't even care about botches anymore, eh? What's happened to the game I love? What has happened to the game I love? We don't even care about botches now. We can't even enjoy a good old botch. But don't they need to get the men's speed belt from El Grande, said De Grimon. Well, yes. I mean, there's been no words of that at the moment, but I would expect it. I mean, I think it fits fine. I think it's fine. You could maybe question why. Why do we do it? Because, you know, this isn't something that is going to necessarily translate to the main roster. We don't have a speed championship on the main roster, so why are we doing it? But I think it's okay for NXT to have something just for NXT. I mean, it is also a brand that's on TV. So, and it's so quick that it's inoffensive, you know? And it's a way of getting people on TV without them outstaying their welcome. So, you know, you can sort of make an argument for it. Daze, you probably spoke about it already, but in short words, says Cobra. Well, you know me, Cobra. I'm very to the point. In short words, how do you feel about Cena AJ finally being booked? Awesome. Wrestler with Andy said, Daze, do you think we'll get a new AJ Lee theme? I wouldn't change the theme because I think people like the theme. I think they're, you know, it's nostalgic and everything. I do think, though, that you could make the first part of it a bit more impactful. I always think, like, if there's going to be a rundown or there's going to be, like, you know, a Rumble entrance or something like that, I would really look at that intro and I would try to make it a bit more like, you know how Stone Cold had the glass smashing and everyone like knew Stone Cold was about to come out. I would want something that immediately lets you know it's AJ, you know? I'm not saying a smash glass in. I just think you could probably do a bit of editing at the start where you actually get like a bit of chaos at the start, which then settles into the light it up. The light it up sort of breaks through. I think you could have something like imagine if a DJ did a slight remix at the beginning. I think you could have something really interesting that just sort of like hits. And I mean, like, isn't the start of Roman's theme, the very start, like a boom, boom, boom? I'm sure it's like a drum sort of sound, boom, 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 and then it very quickly goes into this big thing. I sort of feel like you could do something at the start of AJ's and then have her theme just kind of come through after. I wouldn't massively change the theme, but I do always think the start could do with a bit more punch. Needs a bit of punch at the beginning. Right. John Cena. Bam, bam, bam. John Cena is being advertised for Backstage with Andre Chase. Look at his nose. Is that makeup, do you think? It probably stands a chance, doesn't it? Probably stands a chance. What? Cold Custard's put a helmet on now. Okay, we got Dark State. Oh, it's not Cole Custer. It was Joe Hendry. Oh, I should have seen that coming, shouldn't I, really? But was that Cole Custer when he walked in and he transformed into Joe Hendry? Or was that just Joe Hendry hoping someone would say his name? Do you think Joe just is always there, hiding, and just constantly around, just hoping someone, please say my name. Please say my name. I hope someone says my name, otherwise I've just got to, like... I've just got to, like, go away again and come back later hoping that person will say my name. Should have seen that. I should have seen that. Here's Ariana Grace. Hannah said, I boldly predict that JC Jane will be one of the contenders for the greatest female wrestlers of all time in a few years down the line. She is doing marvelous work, says Hannah. What? We're underway. She's already... I didn't even know that Jordan Grace had come out, but we've got the Graces. Grace versus Grace. It's Dream Match. It's Dream Match. Dream Match territory. We got all the Graces going at each other right now. We're only 48 minutes into the show. 48 minutes in the show. Grace versus Grace. Jordan versus Ariana. Shot coming in. Shot coming in. Jordan planting Ariana. Charging over. Colliding into her. Looking at... Oh, Ariana gets planted. Gets planted. Oh, mate. Blumming out, Jordan. Going for a splash. Ariana moves out the way. She just sort of bundled Jordan over. She goes for a splash. Gets it. 2. No joy. Shoulder up. It's a bit sloppy, but... well, I don't know. They're really going at each other. Drop kick to the back. Grace over against the ropes. Pulling back on the hair. And, oh my God, Jesus. Jordan just went absolutely flying there as Ariana was like, had a boot in her back. Right now, legs. She's got the legs. She slams her down. Elbow drop. Jordan moving out the way momentarily. Fans are cheering, chanting away. Charging in, round the back, looking for a backslide. Jordan smashes Ariana into the turnbuckle. Again, backslide. Right, I don't even know if we did a poll. Did we do a poll for the Candice match? Let's do one quickly, because this match might end. And I spent way too long trying to find that botch. Ah, planted. 1, 2, no. She gets her up. Looks like it could be the beginning of the end. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Right. She beats her. She beats her. Okay, so this is a poll, not for this match. For the Candice match. So the poll is for the Candice match. We'll let that run a minute. We'll let it run a minute. A direct effect. Okay, I said we'd let it run a minute. I let it run a minute. Stacks has come out with glasses. Here's Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe getting in the ring. She's got a pink kendo stick. Chair to the midsection by Jordan. And across the back. Wow, Jordan did so well to not knock herself out like Jey Uso. Ah, pink kendo stick. And again. A pink kendo stick. These two are brawling. I mean, is this... I don't. Are they fighting at No Mercy? I mean, if they're not, I've got to think it'll be added. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Let them fight. Is the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is here. Grab anything you can get your hands on this Saturday. A weapons match. Saturday. This ends. Steel cage. Steel cage. A weaponized steel cage. It's going to be like an Ambrose Asylum. God, so much has happened. This is just another one where the flipping talking points video is going to take forever. I beat Triple A's best. Grace versus Grace. Vince is rolling over in his grave, said Wrestle with Andy. Well, Andy, did we even do a poll for that? Jeez, all these matches. Oh, there's Fatal Influence. Do we get to hear the music? I hope so. We better. And we better get the full entrance as well. I can handle Lola by myself. What? So we're not even getting the full entrance. Oh, Jesus, I hate this show. Sucks. Right, what's this from Tatum?
Before the investigation, right when you're walking home from school with your twig crunch in the background. That's me. A fun joke. It's not a joke. I just wanted to say I love you.
That is a weird video. There's a weird video that Lyra's put up. It's like a TikTok that's meant to be funny, but the sound's really quiet. Okay. Where are we? So, Jordynne Grace will face Blake Monroe in a weapons match inside a steel cage. A steely cage. A cage of steel. That's first hour pretty much done. We've had lots of people showing up in the background, setting us up nicely for hour number 2. I think hour 1's been fun. I've had a great time. I've had a lovely time. Daze, are you a fan of those Hendry segments? They're a bit awkwardish. Well, I mean, people know I'm just never really resonated with Hendry. Hendry, to me, I think is someone that maybe if the joke had started in NXT and I'd been... I keep explaining it the same way, and it's just how I feel. I just feel like the train left the station without me. And I don't know, people have seemingly been able to get on board with it. But I think, like, the first time I ever saw Joe, he was doing the turnaround thing, the cheesy smile. I think it's one of those that you either get on board with the second that you see it, or if you're like, what is this? Like, what is this? Like, it's got to grab you straight away, hasn't it? It's got to grab you straight away. I think it either does or it doesn't. And I think for a lot of wrestling fans, it does. But if it doesn't grab you straight away, I don't know that the more you see it, the more it grabs you. You know, I think it's either a joke that you're either on board with it or you're not on board with it. And it just didn't grab me when I first saw it. If it had been maybe a talent in NXT that was a bit flat and wasn't really doing much, and then he started doing that where he turned around and smiled, and that was his thing, and you'd be like, okay, so we're doing this now, are we? And do you get my point? Like, if maybe I had seen that change and I had been there from the beginning, then maybe I would have been on board from the beginning, and maybe I would be on board with it. But I don't know. I mean, to me, I'm not against it. People enjoy it, but it's not for me. It doesn't do anything for me. But you enjoy it. It's, you know, not everything in wrestling has to be for me. Look at Lily. That ain't for me. Matt Cardona's tweeted. Matt Cardona has said, always ready. There he is, look. Always ready. Matt Cardona back at WWE. And there's Chelsea going, oh, shit. Oh, shit. We've already seen him, though. He's already been in the background. So there we go. TNA is better than NXT. Matt Cardona. Hey. Back. Hey, it's quite a big talking point, actually. To be... Oh, here we go. Guys, shut up. You shut up right now. You shut up. Although it's only the one of them. Oh, God. Well. Entertain me. JC. Do this solo entrance then. Go on. Okay, a little bit of that. Little bit of that. Normally we'd have the two girls doing that right now. Right? She's still going to do her bit, though. Edge of the ring. We've got a little bit of this coming. Right, there we go. Couple of times against the ropes. And then we do that. Yeah. Oh, then we do that. Come with me. Okay. In the ring we go. Walk. Turns around. Normally Fallon would be that side. She does that. Jasmine doesn't do anything. She does that, doesn't she? And then, like, the three of them tend to just stand there looking like bosses. And we go. Best part of NXT. Best theme music. Best entrance. Give out the Daisy Award now. I mean, to be honest, not as good. Without the other two, not as good. But it was still a very strong performance. And I was still very moved. Why does it look like the man behind her is, like, naked? Do you see that man that's got the beards? It's a man with a beard, and he's got, like, his hands over his penis. And all I can see are his legs. I can't even see any shorts. Oh, it's because his shorts are the same color as his skin. That's why. That makes more sense now. Okay, JC is bragging. 5 out of 10. Yeah, the reviews are coming in. The reviews are coming in. It's 5 out of 10 for JC's solo effort. You lot want to live in a fantasy that the one that's going to dethrone me is Lola Vice. Lola Vice. She's flashy. She's got 1 million followers on Instagram. Congrats. Has she really? It's a lot, isn't it? That, do you know, you don't think about that. I don't think about that. But imagine if you're in NXT, the amount of followers you've got on social media, I wonder if that is like a factor. Grow your brand, grow your following. If you've got loads of followers, you could probably walk around with, you know, your chest out. Wake up, sweetheart. I shocked the world. Been there, done that. You're not the underdog. I am, says JC. Whilst you were shaking your ass, I was busting my ass. She had gum in her mouth, which was her choice, wasn't it? If I had to go out there live and cut a promo, I wouldn't have gum in my mouth. At least I have an ass to shake, says Lola. And Jace is like, okay, fair play. You're barely surviving. That's a good line. Being a toxic third wheel. I was nervous. That's not who I am now. This is quite good by Lola, actually. I stand before you a completely different person. A WWE superstar. So this is for my family, for my culture, for myself. This is for all these people here. I'm a different person. I sensed she was about to cry. And I was like, oh, don't cry. You've just told us you're a different person and how you would have cried before. It's not going to look good if you cry now. She didn't cry. But if she had cried, I would have held that against her. Yeah, okay, here we go. 10 toes down by Lola. More than likely, you're going to beat my ass. But I see you. I know you. Where are we going? You've been looking for validation. You want to make Pop Pop so proud? I would have called her dad a loser in this promo. Why do you want to make your dad proud? He looks like a loser. All those sacrifices they made for you, they were nothing. And I'll still be the NXT Women's Champion. You're your family's biggest disappointment. I like this segment. It's made me way more excited for this match. It was pretty obvious she was about to lay her out. I don't mind either of their music, you know. Fatal Influence, clearly the better though, but you know. Haseeb said, how did you give Raw an 8? I thought it was boring. I turned it off halfway. I'm starting to think wrestling's not for me. I might have to retire, said Haseeb. Oh, flipping loved it. Did you see all the other comments? People enjoyed it. Community gave 3 out of the 5 matches a great rating. Lots of storyline progression. Lots of backstage segments. Lots of stuff to kind of keep you engaged. The whole Asuka, Kyrie, EO thread. Dominic looking for support from Finn, not finding it. JD coming to help instead, only because Roxanne made him. Then we do the match and like Dominic doesn't save the day. Finn comes out, starts going mental at Dominic. We're driving that story forwards. Don't know where we're going with it, but we're driving it forward. So we had a bit of Judgment Day stuff. We had a bit of Asuka and EO and Kyrie stuff, which obviously exploded at the end with a big kind of turn. Genuinely one of the best Raw matches of the year with Asuka versus Rhea. Community scoring that great 80%. Which does put it as one of the highest Raw matches of the year. And like the opening match had a really good pace to it. That 6-man tag match with Penta and the War Raiders against the New Day. Not a match that had great meaning, but a match that I think kind of opened the show fairly well. I actually was not sure what we were going to get from Cody and Seth, but they ended up having a really interesting back and forth, and I love the way they introduced the watch into the story. You know, you could very easily just make that I'm the best champion. I'm better than you. I'm going to prove it at Crown Jewel. But actually to bring the watch back into the story, to talk about the 3-0 a few years ago, and also to kind of bring in the fact that, you know, Seth was saying you only seem to be there when it benefits you. You know, what does this watch represent? You know, how dare you go around saying you're the quarterback and no one can do it like you? How does that make me look? You know, and so you've got all these interesting, like, threads, this backstory that you go, do you know what? There was way more there than what I expected. I just sort of expect it was going to be, you know, I'm the better champ. You know, I'm going to beat you this weekend. I thought they might reference the 3-0, but they went much further with it. So I thought the open was stronger than I was expecting and actually did get me a bit more excited for their match. Opening match had a really good pace to it. Backstage segments just kind of keeping that story moving. And as we said, there was the Asuka one, there was the Judgment Day one, there's the Jay situation where we're trying to figure out if Jay's going to turn. Is that where we're going? Reports are that he's not, but it really feels like he is. And of course, the Vision getting involved in his match against LA Knight makes you wonder what the hell is going on. And he wouldn't go back and save LA Knight. So you're sort of like, what's happening there? I think this was a show that had much better match quality than what we had seen recently. Had a lot of backstage segments that kept stories moving forwards. Had a big payoff at the end with Asuka turning on Io, which is obviously going to have big repercussions. Flipping Rhea Ripley. Absolutely. I have never seen a mist in that good. She was absolutely covered. Absolutely covered. I mean, I just thought it was a really entertaining show, and I think that mist in at the end just sort of cemented it to get to the 8 for me. For the longest time, I was like, I think they were about 7.5, 7.75. But I think the quality of the main event, the turn at the end, just, yeah. And I think the community, by and large, enjoyed it as well. So that's, I think, what people saw and enjoyed. And that's why it got the score that it's got. I really don't have any doubt in saying that for me, and everyone's entitled, Aseeb's entitled to his opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. There is no right or wrong. It's just about why did you enjoy the show? If the question is why did you enjoy the show, I got all of that out of it in a year where we have not been getting remotely close to that. You know, most shows this year have been just average matches. Not much in the way of backstage segments. If we have had backstage segments, they've not been that intriguing. And, you know, normally it's just a repetitive Braun and Bronson sort of main event. Beat down, boring, repetitive. You know, we've got something fresh in that main event. Right, here's Briggs. What time we got? We got 50 minutes left to go. 50 minutes left to go. We were just at a bit of a lengthy commercial break. No matter how hard I try to please the WWE Universe, you're a fan, you're a seat filler. Pfft, not at these prices. Have you seen how much they're charging for seats, Briggs? What do you say when my match ends and they show the fans chanting, "This is awesome"? So the fans ask him to go away, but then after his match, they're saying, "This is awesome." That approval that Javon is chasing, it makes him weak. Okay, here we go. Dark States. WrestleRant said every time they show Briggs, it lets you know the state of the NXT men's division. Briggs is a Timu Corbin, says William. What happened to Briggs and Jensen? They split them up quite a while ago now. That was okay from Briggs. Hendry. Who's Hendry? I don't even know who Hendry's with. So Dark State are in the ring. Oh, Chase U. It's a little bit random. Riley said, are you Team TNA or Team NXT? Riley, what do you think? I'm Team NXTNA. As we take down the evil AEW. We're all on the same team. Don't let these fake divisions fool you. They're nothing but fake divisions just to create entertainment. There's a real war that's going on. So I'm Team NXTNA. TNA have got a beef with Dark State and Trick Williams, said Edward. Riley said, I think Daze is Team AEW. I can be for the right price if you are watching Tony Khan. Brony said, it's been 4 years and Chase U are still a thing. Get this garbage off my TV, please. Andre Chase sucks, says Brony. Right, here we go. Shots coming in by Dark State. And we are underway. We are underway. Tag being made. Did we do the Grace versus Grace rating? God, I'm so out of touch with the ratings. These matches just flipping come and go. Dark State are going to lose their title, said Miguel. Denis is applauding away. James says Brony supports Goldberg. That's enough said. Brony, do you? Are you a Goldberg supporter? Brony, I'm afraid that Bret Hart hates you. Okay, that's what is this trend about having one leg covered and one leg exposed? What is this, and why do people think it looks good? This isn't the world that I want to live in. Dark State, Chase U. Dark State, Chase U. Dark State, Chase U. Dark State. Over in the corner. Oh. Bouncing off that right. Whoa, we've learnt some new tricks. Whoa. 1, 2. Chase U in control at the moment. Over the other side, Joe Hendry is in. Dixon going to the outside as, is that Dion? Yeah, Dion's in the ring right now. Retro Gamer said, fun fact, Hulk Hogan was the last WWF champion and the first WWE champion. Wes said, would any lady in the chat like to date me? Oh, ladies, Wes is available. Chop coming in. Joe Hendry looking for suplex. In comes Saquon. Dixon clothesline as Saquon goes to the outsides. Hendry reverses. Drop kick there. I tell you what, they're working at a pace here, Chase U. Clothesline by Hendry as Cyrus goes to the outsides. Oof. Kale Dixon. Going over that top rope. Daze, my controversial opinion is that Jace's reign has been better than Julia and Stephanie's. I mean, I don't know how controversial that is. I don't feel like Julia's reign was that long. Well, I don't feel like Stephanie's was that long. Whereas JC has defended it a number of times and featured on a few PLEs and appeared over in TNA, and obviously you've got like the group with her as well. There's been a bit of arguing in there. Like, we're not. I don't think that's that controversial, honestly. I think you're on pretty safe grounds. I think there's a big difference in saying JC is a better wrestler than Stephanie or a better wrestler than Julia. That's not the comment. The comment is that her reign has been better, but I think she's done more. She's done more with it. I can go with you on that. Unless everyone in the chat disagrees, and then I will abandon you. Yeah. That's kind of how I work, to be honest. Okay, we are at commercial break. Riley said, we've not seen any cool phone cases for a while. We have not. It's a high bar, to be honest. It's got to be something truly special to be included. Dropkick. Ganlin said, do we think either of Dark State was a member of Retribution? We know who the members of Retribution were. It wasn't anyone in Dark State. I don't even think they were in WWE when Retribution was around. That was quite a while ago now. But the members of Retribution, one of them was Michin. One of them was Dijak, was it? One of them was Shane Thorne, who was Slapjack. I feel like there's one that I'm missing. Mercedes Martinez was one for a little while. There was another one, wasn't there? Dijak, Michin, Shane Thorne, Mercedes. There's another one. Mustafa Ali as the leader. Mace. Yes. Mace. That was the guy that was in Maximum Models, wasn't it? Maximum Male Models. What was his name? What was his name? Dion Mace. Dio Madden. Yeah, Dio Madden. Yes. Mace. That was the one I was forgetting. Mustafa was the leader. He wasn't under a mask or anything, though, was he? Dio Madden. Didn't he keep the Mace name, but he was Marseille in Maximum Male Models? We had Marseille and Mansoir. Wasn't it something like that? I think they sort of kept the Mace name, but just changed it to Marseille. Dark times, eh? Dark times. The Maximum Male Model guy, Mace, said boomers. That shows that people want to see Julia and Stephanie. Still been struggling in NXT, says Eric. Daze, look under your bed. You might find Julia, said Riley. I think we got Julia this Friday. I think she's in a tag match. Okay, we were at commercial break, but we're not at commercial break right now. So we are back from commercial break. And right now we've got a tag being made. So Cyrus tags in Lennox. Lennox going quickly against the ropes. Down goes KO Dixon. 1, 2, Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Mike Santana is here. Mike Santana. Tag being made. Oh, in the corner. Saquon. Here's Dixon being picked up. Oh, big power slam. 1, 2. Hendry comes in, makes the save. Oh, this thing's broken down. It's broken down. Now on the outside. Whoa, over the barricades. Damn. Connor's just got hurled not into the barricade, but over the barricades. Crowd are chanting, "We believe." So, Cutler is on the outside of the ring at the moment. Over hip toss goes Saquon. Tag being made. The crowd are going to believe now. The believer is in. Santana's pretty good. I like Santana a lot. Joe's tagged in, said Wrestling Fam. Yeah, we're setting up for a big, juicy final half an hour in this show. I was just a bit distracted because I hadn't actually heard about the Masha Slamovich allegations, so I just saw a post on that. Fall away slam there by Joe Hendry. Kip up by Joe. Do you know what? It's interesting because there is people in the crowd really into it, but then you can see people that aren't, that just stay seated. Well, not everyone believing. There are pockets of people that stayed seated. Right now we got Joe down. We got Dion down. More on their feet, though. Let's not misrepresent. Joe as popular as ever. Now we got Andre Chase trying to get Uriah back in the match. Trying to get him back in the match. Come on. I know you got hurled over at barricades, but we need you. Here we go. Joe makes the tag. Bang. Big boot. Moving out the way. Dion. Connors. James said Charlotte just put a heartfelt message out. She lost a close friend. Oh. We'll grab that after. Oh, big kick. Coming in, looking for a DDT. Right now we got Cutler on the outsides. Whoa, blimey now. Connor's through the ropes. Down goes Cutler. Cutler's not even in the match. Can't take any chances though, can you, eh? Osiris goes down. Oh, stunner! I tell you what, Connors. Blimey now. Here's Saquon. Makes the save. It's been a really good couple of minutes in this match, you know. Tags being made. It's the numbers game, innit? Guys, it's a numbers game. It's a flipping numbers game. A lot of people ask me what's wrestling, and I just say it's a numbers game. And here's Dark State. 1, 2, 3. Dark State win. Because it's a numbers game. Dun, 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 dun. It's not her fault. On top of failing her miserably, they stick her with a boring dead Kiana James, says WrestleRants. Dark State. Dark State. Right, Ricky Saints returns home. Let's go. Let's go. Ricky Saints returns home. Okay, Dark State win. Jeremy said stupid numbers. Mayor Pete said super chats. Thank you. Did I miss one? I did. Mayor Pete's said, would it make more sense for AEW and Snowman Tony Khan to have a Columbia PLE? Well, I don't really deal with AEW. You know me, I love all pro wrestling, and, I just let them live their own lives. But if they would like to do one in Colombia, to be honest, if they did one in Colombia, WWE would probably very quickly follow, because WWE would be like, if they're going to Colombia, we're going to Colombia. So, yeah, if they did get an AEW show, I think WWE would follow quite quickly behind. So, I don't know. Maybe he goes anyway. I don't know. I actually don't know if he does do cocaine. I really don't. I know everyone likes to joke that he does, but I genuinely have no idea. Riley said, what if Team TNA and Team NXT have a kiss fest? Well, it's not why I tune into wrestling, but I think it would still do some numbers. Spawny Boy said, why don't you do watch-longs for TNA? Well, TNA is obviously not WWE. So it's not a promotion that I've ever engaged with. I've kind of grown up watching WWE and watching WrestleMania and the Warrior and the Bulldog and all of that. And I'd have a glance at WCW, but I kind of felt like my wrestling itch was being scratched by WWE. And, there's been times in my life where it's even been difficult to kind of fit that in with work and everything. So I'm not someone that kind of really feels a need to, add more and more and more. I feel like with WWE, you get a couple of shows a week, and you get your monthly big shows as well. And I mean, that's way more than just a normal TV show. I mean, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you'll get 24 episodes a year, and that's it, right? That's not even every week. But with WWE, you get a couple of shows, and all the backstory to kind of get your teeth into. You could get lost in just WWE. If you're a wrestling fan, you don't really need any more. So I don't know. I've never really felt the need that I need more. I have never claimed to be an avid WCW viewer. I wasn't. I was just following WWE, and that was good enough for me. And I think when AEW first started, I was watching that, of course, as you know, on the channel. We could find room for it. But when TNA started, I didn't follow it. I wasn't, and so I've just never found a way into it. I've never felt like I'm missing out. I've never felt like I needed it. And so I've never been a viewer. I don't have any history of watching TNA. I've only ever seen a handful of shows. It's just not, I've just never needed it. I've to be honest, I've never really had room in my life for it. So I would say the only time that I've really had an opportunity to introduce it into my life would be when we started doing these streams back in 2018. And I was quite happy with covering WWE. And then, of course, we gave AEW a try in 2019. I think, maybe now that we've got this partnership, there's an opportunity to introduce it. But I still don't massively feel like I'm missing out. It's not got to the point where it's a real problem if you don't watch TNA. It's not oh, God, what's going on? That happened. Oh, man. I need to watch TNA. I'm really missing out. We haven't got to that. If we get there, then it may be introduced. But we're not there yet. Okay, here's Ricky. He's from New Orleans. Bourbon Street. Without New Orleans, who am I? I don't know. He's in a field. I've been in a field. Well, it's more a garden. It's more a yard. Same's gone. The storm took it away. They did this with Lola, didn't they? And it was excellent. That's our boy. That's the guy that made it through. I had no other choice. Of course I was going to make it. I like this. I think I represent everybody, says Ricky. I was just meant to be another kid that slipped through the cracks. Do they lose a lot of kids through the cracks? These are great. It's a great reminder that this isn't just about me. I bet that is fun for him. Imagine him going out on the town in New Orleans, having people coming over like, Ricky, how you doing? That's nice, isn't it? That's nice. Daze, I didn't attend Project Revolution, says Carmen. At the Venue 99, I went with my sister to watch WrestlePalooza. What, did you actually go to WrestlePalooza, Carmen? Tracy said New Orleans has been through a lot. And Retro Gamer said New Orleans looks like a fun night out. Wrestle Andy said, can you make a video package like that in Stourbridge? That would be great. My love letter to Stourbridge was that toy hunt I did in Stourbridge. I kind of popped to like non-toy hunt related places like the leisure centre and other little places. So that's one of my favourite videos on the channel. Right, main event of NXT coming up. We got 24 minutes next for NXT is No Mercy on Saturday, and that is going to be NXT Women's Championship match. JC, Lola surely has a chance. She has got a chance. Then we've got Ethan, Tavian standing tall tonight might not be a great sign. I don't think Tavian wins. But he has a chance. I don't know what this music is, but I have someone screaming at me. Here we've got the Speed Championship. It's Laney Reed against Sol Ruka. She has a chance. It probably would make sense to put a belt on Laney Reed because Sol doesn't need 2 belts. She's already had 2 belts for a little while. Maybe give Lainey something to do. Josh Briggs, Javon Evans, the young OG. And Josh Briggs is a big boy. It looks all right as a show. It looks all right. Steel cage match, a weaponized steel cage match. Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe, weapons, cages. Let's go. Jordan Blake, said Wrestling Fan. Geordie said, I was randomly recommended a video of you reviewing a cake 8 years ago. I hadn't laughed like that in a long time. Oh, Geordie, I'm glad you're in. I can't even remember. I tell you one thing I remember. Genuinely, really hurting my neck. Really, that video. I like opened my mouth like so wide to try and eat this whole cake. Here. I think you can even see it like popping out of like in the thumbnail. Whatever this is here. Mate. I can't even think of that video without remembering. Hello, who's down? Someone's down. Jasmine's down. Oh my God, Jasmine's been attacked. Oh, it's Fallon. Fallon's done it. It was time to drop her anyway? I think Jasmine might be out. It was time to drop her anyway. She was like, don't matter. Don't matter. It doesn't even matter if it was Fallon. It doesn't even matter. Oh, damn, that's cold. Sister, that's cold. Damn. Doesn't matter. Jasmine knocked out. What if it was Matt Cardona that did that? We know he's around. Can't rule it out. Right. Bum, bum, bum. But I bet JC did it, said William. Trick versus Oba. Let's go. What that trick? JC did it, said Jeremy. Wrestling Fan thinks it's Moose. Moose did it. Oh, there's Moose. He could have still done it, though. We've got visitors. What's going to go down? What's going to go down? What's going to go down? Kai Plays. Shout out to you. Maybe it was Laney Reed's. Honestly, I mean, it could be a big mystery, but I think like the fact that JC is like not bothered. My entrance! Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! I've only just realised this is the worst thing that's ever happened. The fatal influence entry will never be the same. Because she does that bit. Oh no! Well, how are they going to do it with two of them? We've just seen what it's like with one, and it wasn't as good. Oh, this is a flipping disaster. This is a disaster. So she's going to go on the edge of the ring and do all that. And, well, I don't know. What the hell is Fallon going to do? Because Fallon stands on the one side opposite Jasmine, and they, like, walk together and turn. And then Jasmine just awkwardly stands there. I mean, Fallon can still do that bit. Right? She can still do that bit. But what? She's just going to stand at the side and wait for JC to... Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a disaster. I'm livid. I cannot believe this. It really puts it in perspective. You know? When someone gets murked and you're not that bothered... You're like, but then when you really think about it and you think about what it is we've truly lost, it doesn't bear thinking about. It doesn't bear thinking about. Well, I just hope that maybe we bring someone else in that can do this. Me, I'll do it. I would be fabulous in that role. I know every move. I'm like a 7-year-old that can recreate every dance move from the Taylor Swift Eras tour. That's me, but just not with Taylor Swift's, but just with the Fatal Influence entrance. I can recreate every flipping move. I've got the sass. I am a queen, right? I can do the lion there. I'll wear the same gear. Don't bother me. I can wear what Jasmine wears. Beckon you over. Turn you away. Do it with attitudes. And you know what? I would be super supportive of JC as well. I would not let JC down like I think Jasmine has. I would be such a cheerleader. I feel like I need to launch a full-blown campaign to be Jasmine's replacement. Perhaps I took Jasmine out. Did I take Jasmine out? Maybe it was me. Maybe this has been my plan all along. We said it was going to take something special to drive me away from stream. And we know that Ava is in England right now. For some reason. Oh, it's all coming together, isn't it? All of a sudden, it all flipping makes sense. I was always going to attack Jasmine. I told Ava in advance. She's come over to offer me the role of being Jasmine's replacement. And NXT is about to enter a very bright new dawn. You thought that entrance was good before. You flip him, wait. You flip him, wait. Wow. I can't believe that I've just worked out this conspiracy that I'm very much a part of. Okay, here's Oba. Here is Oba. Right. Did anyone else see something in the background during the Jasmine attack, said Mackenzie. Mackenzie, I was too busy crying. At what we've lost. Because what we've lost is one of wrestling's greatest entrances. Here's Oba. He's making his way down. Love that for him. Days Evolve should be epic tomorrow. We've got a new women's championship tournament might be happening. Oh, I'm so excited for tomorrow where I can sit here and go, oh my God, Tubi's so good. Tubi is so good. There's so many shows that I'd love to watch. Okay, we've got 15 minutes. We are so running out of time. We are really drastically running out of time. Okay, Bella sounded. Ah.
Could have a championship. Could have.
Oh, you legends. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is shuz. You're a legend. I love you. No one on the flipping internet had that Candice botch. But you have that Candice botch. And I just want you to know I love you. We are now officially lovers. Okay, Trick Williams getting his intro. Trick is looking outside the ring. Whoop that Trick. I'm just going to have to move a load of things out of folders to fit it in, but it's going to be so worth it. Okay, Oba is getting his intro. We're about to get underway. We really don't have much time, actually, for this match, you know. Maybe we should have just postponed it, done it next week. Oba. Oba. I don't even know who I want to win. I just want everyone to have a lovely time. That's what I want. I just want everyone to have a lovely time. Okay, here we go. Bell about to sound, and we are underway. Big boot there by Trick. Oba grabs the leg. And chop coming in there by Trick. And again, driving Oba over against the ropes. Reverse. Oh, big knee to the midsection there by Oba. I wish this had longer. Picks him up. Oh, lands on his feet. Lands on his feet. Backslide, 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 backslide. Chop coming in. Over against the ropes, up over the top, lands on his feet. Trick Williams in control, charging him. Are we going to be getting the invasion? That's the question. That's what people want to know. That is the question that people are asking. Let's go Oba is the chant. Let's go Oba is the chant. Whoa, look at Trick Williams doing like a whoa. He's doing breakdancing. Oba pushes Trick down. Oba against the rope, shoulder charge. And again, Trick going down again. This is our main event. If you are just joining us, where have you been? Yeah? You have missed lots. Right now, primetime match this says... Oh, there's Zachary Wentz. Yeah, they keep popping up, don't they? They're like gremlins. Jumping over the top there. Trick coming. Ah, big blow coming in there by Oba. There's another one. Oh my God, was that Billy Kay? Was that Billy Kay? Mates! Oh my God! Yeah, they're honestly... TJF's I shared that botch. Oh, I didn't see. I only saw the one. Thank you, though. Right now, edge of the ring. Boom. Okay, he looks into the crowd. There's Mike Santana. Mike Santana has jumped over the barricades. Is he going to jump onto commentary? What's happening? Yeah, he's gone on to commentary. It does feel like there is a bit of drama around. Right now we got Oba over. Chop coming in by Trick as we, I think, might be going to commercial break. Yeah, we were at commercial break. So we got one of these outsiders jumping over the barricades. Right. Right now we got Oba over by the barricades. Got Trick on the outside as well. Days Fightful. TNA are starting internal investigation into the Masha Slamovich situation. I had not even heard about this Masha Slamovich situation. I've only seen a couple of words on it. Mike Santana jumps in the crowds and duck underneath by Trick. Gets the ropes down, goes Oba. Trick looking around at the crowds. TNA invasion, said Mike. Well, they haven't quite. I can't believe we got Billy Kay there and we just like didn't really do anything with that news. Okay, Trick in control. Ava's probably in London to support her dad's movie, said Cameron. Yeah, that's what we want you to think. Days, maybe the hardest show. Honestly, I mean, I don't even know who there is left to show. I can't believe, my God, I'd be freaking out. Oh, going down 1, 2. Was that Heather by Elegance? I still don't even know if that was Peyton Royce or Billy Kay, to be honest. I only had a quick glance. Okay, Oba trying to get back up to his feet. We're still at commercial break. We've got a minute left to go. I wonder how this plays out, said Dr. Lucha Lala. I don't know, but it is very intriguing. Very intriguing. We haven't seen Cardona yet. Oh, I don't think we're letting him in. He's on the outside. We haven't actually let him into the building. Okay, right now, still keeping Oba down. 8 minutes to go. The show is going to end with all of them clapping and acknowledging Trick, said Johnny. Do you think it will? Do you think they'll all just be there clapping, applauding, and just being really supportive? Yeah, I think that as well. There's Eric Young. They're all standing, aren't they? God, wherever you are in that crowd, you've got a TNA talent right by you. That is so exciting. Mate, I would be going up to Billy Kay right now, like, can I just get a quick picture? You haven't got any of them resumes, have you? That resume was hilarious. Quick question. What was on that resume? It was so fun. Can you do one of those? You've gotta be joking me. Can you just do that once? Hang on, let me get my phone. Would you just do it into my phone, please? You've gotta be joking me. There's Matt Cardona. He's found a way in. Going for the cover. No joy. I gotta say, this is a real distraction. Shot coming in there by Trick. Chop coming in there by Trick. Another shot coming in there by Trick. Oba just eating all these shots. Charging in. Bang! Everyone might be here from TNA to get a view. Going over into the corner. I think Stevie Wonder can see how this is going to end, says Jim. Against the ropes, Trick. Oh, mate! Big collision by the big man. Oba Femi scooping up Trick. Drives him down. Oba Femi in control. Are they going to let this get a clean victory? I don't think they are they? Are they going to get him? He's found a way in, said Benny. He did. I love that for him. I love that for him. Where the hell is security? It's a very good question by Booker. Boot coming in, big boot. Trick coming in again with another big boot. Trick. Ah! Bang. Collapses down. 1, 2. No joy. No joy. I was looking for the joy, but it wasn't there. There was no joy. How does this play? Do they get involved before the match ends? I'm pretty sure they will. Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. Crowd are chanting, this is awesome. Tries to double axe handle. Oba with Trick. Lands on his feet. Big blow there by Oba. Trick with a kick. A Trick kick. Another kick coming in there by Trick. Oba picks him up and hurls him across the ring. Take that, you boomer. Here we go, beginning of the ends. Picks him up. Looking for a power bomb. Reversed by Trick. 1. Those shoulders aren't down, are they? That was a little sloppy, to be honest. He didn't really kick out. Oh, trick shot. 1, 2. Oh, mate, that was really close. And with minutes left to go, the end could be at any time. Santana on commentary. Everyone dialed in. How is this going to go? How is this going to play? Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Whoop that Trick. Trick Williams in control. Come on, Trick. Goes over. Up. Power bomb by Oba. Oba with the pin. 1, 2. Oh, mates. I mean, I think they get involved before the end of the match. But, mates, that was flipping close. Crowd are chanting "Fight Forever," and I don't think the TNA wrestlers are in agreement with that. Fight forever. Oh, it's Peyton. That's Peyton. Oh no, I wouldn't talk to her. I don't mind her, but I'd be like, Peyton, where's Billy Kay? What's her real name? Jessie. Get me, where's Jessie? Have you got a number? Yeah. We've got NXT, TNA, NXT, TNA, NXT. Big knee coming in there by Trick. Shot coming in. I think it's they're going to leave this quite late, aren't they? Clothesline to the outsides. Going to the outside. We've got about 2 minutes left to go. Big shot coming in there by Oba. Is this going to overrun? Have we got an overrun? Into the barricade. Oh, into the steps. Looked like he was hurling him to the barricade. Oba went down into the steps. He's over by the barricades. Trick's looking over. Oh, this could be the spot. This could be the spot. Trick slaps. Oh, here we go. That might be the spark. That's going to be the spark. Here we go. TNA invades. TNA invades. We're bringing down NXT reinforcements. It's kicked off. We need some help. It's carnage. The Cullen are down. Javon's in there. It's chaos in the ring. Chaos in the ringside area. Mate, you've got to pick a side. Ricky Saints calmly making his way over to that NXT championship. Look at everyone that's down. Mate, that ring is pretty much full. Everyone is fighting in the background. But we have got Ricky Saints, Oba Femi staring at each other. They go to war on Saturday at No Mercy. Oh, mates. As the show comes to a close, chaos. Absolute chaos. That's how you end a show. That's how you end a show. Mate, that's what I wanted. That's what we all wanted. That's what we wanted. You wanted it. I wanted it. Do you know who didn't want it? Tony Khan. Tony Khan didn't want it. Because it's goods. It went exactly the way we thought it would go. There was no winner in that match. So basically, we all wasted our time. But, oh man, when they jumped over and we were going to war, you've got to pick a side, man. You've got to. Team NXT for me. Yeah, Team NXT. Ride or die. Survival of the fittest. Yeah, we're at war now. We're at war. Before I was all for this partnership, but we are now at war. A statement has been made. Lines have been drawn in the sand, right? We need to get the helmet. We need to get the helmet. We need to get the tanks. It's flipping. It's happening. It's flipping happening. It's happening. We're at war! We're at war! This is now a war zone. We are at war. Save yourselves. Save the kids. We're at war. You've got to pick your sides. Kiss your loved ones goodbye. Because we are officially at war. Breaking news. War has broken out. World War III is with us. It's been lovely knowing some of you. I am so sorry that it has come to this, but we knew it was going to lead this way eventually. And I just wish you and your loved ones all the very best in the future. War is here. Only one will survive. And honestly, we're ready. I've called the lads. The tank's on its way. War has arrived. You have to pick your side.